Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Kimchi Cast for week 3, day 2. I can't count of the 2024 LLA Spring Split we got two best of threes lined up for us today. We are starting off, unless they changed it and I'm not paying attention, with Astral All Nights, and following that, probably Stomp. We have Leviathan and Rainbow 7 closing us out in a battle for second place right now, actually. Somehow, despite what the expectations for these two teams were entering the season, Leviathan has found themselves in a position where they are not only in the upper bracket, but are in a position where they could take a top 2 spot at the moment. And for Astral, same old. They steamrolled. They've been steamrolling pretty much everyone in their path this season. I'm unmuted. Good. They've been steamrolling everyone pretty much all season. They crushed Rainbow 7 in what is now a match between first and second. They destroyed Isurus in a match between first and third. And obviously, Infinity and I believe it was Leviathan did not really stand much of a chance, sadly. But that is the quality of the teams right now. The two tiers we have in LLA. For Movistar Rainbow 7, it is just continuing to assert that they are the top dog, or still up there with the top dogs in the league, despite an early loss to Astral Esports. Astral Esports. I always mix them in a up in naming scheme. And for All Nights, it's just trying to get another win. It's just hoping you can win and not die against the top team in the region, because you're 1-2. You haven't played in about a week now, and things aren't going to look good. Your win came over 6 Karma, which is great, but 6 Karma don't look to be that good of a team, and definitely not to the caliber of what Astral can put up. So it is going to be an uphill battle to open us out. Definitely top team versus 5th place team doesn't typically go very well. It's very, very complicated, or not complicated, but very difficult to win against a team that is just kind of going to be able to skill gap you on all levels without really much of a challenge. So I think I'll take this chance to pivot to talk about Leviathan and Rainbow 7, unless we are jumping to the draft, but we haven't jumped just yet. And for Leviathan, it is continuing to ride that high of the comeback win against 6 Karma. Not a super strong team, currently barely out of the playoff picture, and actually a team All Nights has also beaten, so it's not much high praise to beat. I believe your 2 wins come against All Nights, comedically enough, but All Nights and 6 Karma, not the highest of praise wins, but your 2 losses are against 2 of the top teams of the region, so maybe you stand a chance against the second best team in the region right now. Movistar Rainbow 7, though, 3 straight wins. 6 Karma, Infinity, and shockingly a clean 2-0 sweep of Isurus last week. So Rainbow 7 are coming in. Their opponents have kind of just been getting better and better. And with that, they've just risen to, I guess, not meet the challenge, except for Isurus, where they just rose and absolutely stomped that series. And it was very surprising. And there's only one team really left on their checklist that they need to top in Astral Esports, but that's for everyone to do. I don't think Rainbow 7 are going to be slowing down anytime soon, and are just going to try and make sure that Leviathan, as best as they can, are just a footnote in Rainbow 7's climb back to a top 2 finish in the league, and hopefully a run to finals for them. All Nights equally will just be a footnote in the story of their season so far. For Leviathan, this is your chance to prove that your 2 wins, despite being against slightly lower tier teams, aren't the only, you're able to hang with the big dogs. Even though you've lost to 2 of the biggest dogs in the region, you can at least hang with one of them, and that you're only improving. They've been playing pretty pretty solid for the most part. They did, obviously, they've gone loss, win, but they've been playing better. They've been giving some teams some runs for some definite runs that they probably shouldn't have had. Like, they almost took a game off of Isurus. I don't remember how hard they tried to take a game off of Estral. I don't think that one went very well for Leviathan. Game 1, yeah. I remember I was like, it's either game 1 that's close or not. Hold on, am I blind? This is a replay. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Hi. Okay, I guess we gotta jump. Which, as we are already into draft, I don't know why. Okay. Anyways, I was completely trolled by LOLesports.com. Thanks, LOLesports.com. Being garbage. Estral going with a very interesting draft here, actually. And All Knights, ooh. A bit of a mix of off meta. Or not off meta, but a mix of not top tier champions. And we have some meta picks, but not the... I mean, okay, you have Kalissa, that's a very strong pick. You have LeBlanc, that's a very strong pick. Rel is all around solid. The Yone is interesting into this Cassante, actually, because usually you see this into the Aatrox, not the other way. Not into really anybody else, but I guess Zothav is just really confident in his Yone. Which is interesting because he didn't play it. Like, I don't think he's played Yone at all this season. Intriguing. So sorry about that. I got baited pretty hard by YouTube. Thanks, YouTube. And sorry. There's a sign and it's just it's about how good is Jose Dioto, pretty much. Just like full clear, 325 on brand, plays new. Good, there's a dog barking in the set. But we are on the wrong screen, still on the wrong screen. I'm an idiot. There we go. We are jumping into the first game of the day, despite the fact that I entirely missed the draft due to my ineptitude. But still, we're going to go hard, and we're going to play. We're hopefully going to have some close game. And pause. Well, that lasted all of 10 seconds. That excitement did not pan out for anyone. Now I'm in this awkward spot where I don't feel the hype anymore. The hype is gone. It's all gone. It's all sad and depressing. Probably a tech issue. I very much doubt there's a bug this early into the game, considering we are 30 seconds in, of course. And yep, we are right back into the game. I didn't transition out, but I'm an idiot. I thought I did. Brain isn't working today. Where is the Yone? I want Yone top specifically, so I should have not done this. There's been 8 games of Yone top, and it's 1-1 into a Cassante. It's lost the other 2. So 1 and 2 against Cassante. Again, mostly the Aatrox counter, which he's actually undefeated against this season. Hey, Hadan played Yone. I forgot. How the heck did I... Oh, that was a series I had to skip because I was so goddamn tired. Whoops. And we see Cody getting chased over by nobody. He deceived over the wall and actually is going to get a lot of value here with these auto trades. So somehow is a good situation for Cody, ending up on the wrong side of the river. Nobody not really going to be able to trade that back here. And Adon just forced a ghost already. That's not a good thing. Never want to see your ghost popped for a defensive reason at 150, as Gastrix is going to be thrown backwards by Ackerman, but the Guardian going to come through, and the Gleaming Quill will heal him back up and shield him up. So he is actually able to get the better of that trade, as it is Snaker who ends worst for wear, or worst out of the 4 there in that trade. You can see it's going to be another game of Estral getting this wave control and bullying their opponents off, as Ackerman flash Q, but does get the flash out of Tadigo on the crash down. Wasn't going to connect, but it is a key summoner out on this Zai, and cleanse. Had a cleanse to get the flash out too. And Ackerman is sitting pretty right now, as nobody is not sitting pretty right now, forced to be chugging potion, or to chug his only potion, as he is just getting the outrange treatment from Cody. And Jose Dioto continuing his antics from yesterday, sealing with the camp. Now Gastrix jumping in. And the root going to land, actually, but the Gastrix. Gastrix getting hit with the crash down. And Estral getting really aggressive here. But All Knights are not just going to let them get away with it entirely. Grell very delayed on his jungle now, though. He's going to have to reset here. And sucks because Jose Dioto's already reset, so not good. As teleport and flash burned by both mid laners. What happened mid during all of this? And these two teams are just starting to scrap, it seems. Getting very aggressive as Cody, jumping onto nobody, and the wind wall out does absolutely nothing, and I think it blocked an auto at most. As we see once again, AD LeBlanc coming out, still very good despite apparently being nerfed, but I refuse to believe it now. The Q landing down, and the crash down going to hit Tadigo. The Ignite is already down. The flash from Snaker to try and get aggressive positioning, but Gastrix is buffering and spacing very well. His first blood goes in mid, and Tadigo will fall. Finally, as Gastrix will be able to use the Grand Entrance to get his Grand Escape, and Snaker will have a kill as Jose Dioto continuing to get just very aggressive here as he is invading Grell once again. Going to be able to snipe away that big bird at least, as Ackerman is going to land the Shattering Strike, but no follow-up here. And Gastrix doesn't really have any damage, so he's not going to be able to punish very hard, if at all. And we are seeing a very controlled game from Estral here. They're a very controlling game. Okay, so what happened? Because we were looking bot lane this whole time. Nobody goes in on Cody, gets the root, and it is just a simple Q from Jose Dioto, and Tadigo is just hiding, pretty much, hoping that Ackerman was going to take the kill there. It did not happen, sadly, so is just another positive for Snaker, who is having a great week already off of his first series against Isurus, and is looking to finish that week with another pair of great games. See Grell having to start warding up the jungle brushes because of how aggressive Jose Dioto and co have been in the bot jungle. And just, I mean, everywhere. There's been camps taken away. Is Jose Dioto going to take these 3 grubs? No real answer going to be done. Grell is bot side, and nobody and Hidan are very pushed in right now, so not much of a chance of anything happening here. Will just be an easy 3-0 start for Estral, as, ooh, the root going to land, and that's just more damage that Cody is going to force nobody to tank. He can't really heal it back up without burning potions. Doesn't have any lifesteal right now, I believe. Besides, no, I don't even think he has Bloodline here. So it is going to be a lot of not healing, as Grell going to try and trade this dragon, but the bot lane isn't going to be able to do anything as Gastrix gets the CC chain from Ackerman. Will be able to use the Battle Dance to jump away. Nobody getting rooted, and half of his health bar is already gone, as Cody is going to just get this plating. Cody going to pick up 125 gold, and Grell going to have to back off of the dragon. But now he's looking mid. They don't know he's in mid right now, or he's hovering mid. And there's another pause. Oh, baby, is this going to be a great series. I can already tell. This one's going to be the one. And pause number 2 coming through here. What the heck? So we do have, I have no word, obviously, of what's going on, but Estral so far already up 2 kills on very solid plays. They've been forcing out summoners since, I mean, minute 1. They basically, from when the minions reached a lane, they got the ghost out at like 140 from Hidan, and then Gastrix gets engaged on, or not Gastrix, whoops. My brain doesn't work all the time, and you probably know that already. And we are back, but Ackerman engaging earlier as nobody going to get very aggressive. The the knockup going to land, but can't really do much of anything with it. So not shocking, but we will not successfully see this trade go through for All Knights, as they will also give up the first dragon. So the trade you've been seeing, well, I mean, everyone's been seeing all season, Grubs for first Drake and Grubs for second Drake, just hasn't been happening here. It just is that Grell couldn't really get the dragon in time. Thought about it, saw where the bot lane was, and had to back off of it, sadly. As Snaker is going to... Ackerman going to land the CC combo with the flash. Snaker is going to keep pushing forward, and he's going to get it with the rend. Diving the turret, and Ackerman steals the cannon. But a great play there. Great heads-up play from Ackerman, just continuing to be hyper-aggressive. This is just the Astro we've been seeing all day as Jose Dioto going forwards. Cody has the root onto a minion. Nobody is trying to dance around. He's not going to get to throw the airborne, as the recast of the Q is going to land, though. And it doesn't even matter. You can use the final breath. It doesn't even... Oh, Hidan not going to be able to get the kill here. Zothev actually going to be able to get him, but Hidan with the re-engage with the Q3 will get a kill back in favor of All Knights, and the solo bolo in top. So this is a great flash, full tilt, and remount, and that's all they needed. They got everything again. Cleanse, flash, heal again from this bot lane. And then Cody probably could have made this a little easier if he wasn't dancing in the wave for so long, or if nobody wasn't able to dance in the wave. But a good kick trying to cancel it, burns the shield, he gets it all back. Final breath does that, or last whisper, no, final breath, something like that. And then Zothev flashes away, and he tries to ring. He's just trying to farm, and Zothev gets the shield, and Hidan doesn't even care, just kills him through the shield. And what on earth is Zothev to do? So it is a little bit of gold back in favor of All Knights, but you look at the gold diff, and it is 2,000, almost 3,000, and it is a big farm diff in bot and mid, and a big kill diff in bot and mid. As you can see, Nobody and Trigo both 0 and 2 in this game, as Cody is just going to jump onto Nobody again, and he's not in the spell shield, so he's going to tank a lot of autos. The Q3 not going to land. Meanwhile, the Q going to land for Jose Dioto, and now jumping over the wall is Cody, but there's a nice ulti from Grell to get Yasuo over the wall. Jose going to have to flash away. Grell going to flash away as well, and Nobody going to flash and bring Jose Dioto over the wall, but it's not going to matter, as he's going to be able to jump away with that not steadfast presence. What? If you jump away with the W, Grell on vision. Does Cody think he has the angle? Does not. And we'll go back to lane, but Jose Dioto is spotted out, and Grell going to use the QE to jump the wall, and this will be a nice kill over to the Diana to get them back into this game. And Grell, do you survive this? I think Grell does, and this should even out the Void Grubs. No, actually can't. Is going to back up instead. Cody is rotating over. And it will be a 3-1 split for now. One more Void Grub will get the cancel, though, as the crash down with the Magnastorm not going to land. The Blade Caller going to land, though. As Zothev is going to get all outed on. He's going to use the... I don't know it. Fate Sealed. As Hidan is just chasing him in the all-out form. Zothev has no chance of surviving it. It's another solo bolo over to Hidan here in the top lane. And now All Knights are making Estral sweat a little. They're still down about 2,000 gold, but it's getting ugly. This is just brutal. Jose Dioto doesn't know Grell has vision of him. And Grell's just going to jump the wall. Jose Dioto is on these grubbies, though, and will finish off the last set. Hidan is going to be able to Pathmaker away from Cody. The Frozen Heart doing a lot of work here. But he's still just going to get walked at, and it will be Void Mites on the other side for Estral, actually. Grell sadly couldn't finish them the last time, but there's the crash down, and there is the Shattering Strike, and there is a killing spree for Snaker, having a lovely, continuing to just have a great week. His 21st kill of the week. Had 18 yesterday. He's already got 3 today. So he is just showing out on this Kalista. 2 games of Kalista. 3rd game of Kalista this week. And he has shown out now on all of them. Gastrix just walks up too damn far. No respect. Hex Flash, Shattering Strike, Crash Down. There was no chance of surviving that. Fate's Call. That's the ulti I was thinking of. Fate's Call. Just to see if they can get anything. Jose going to try and go over the wall, but he's not even going to recast the Q. So it will be at least a dragon over to All Knights as we check out what soul we have. And it will be the Hex Tech soul. As Cody is just going to continue to harass nobody here in this lane as Jose Dioto going over the wall to get some of these Raptors. Grell is going to be able to spot him out here, but Jose has stolen away the Big Bird at least and has made a good amount of money, but it still will be Grell winning out that trade by 5 gold. But now Ackerman getting her positioning aggressively here as we've seen the lane phase switch over for this top lane, as before it was Zothiv taking control, punishing early for Hadan because he was picked a tank, and now it is Hadan bodying Zoth in this top lane. Just no chance. It's probably Zothiv and I'm just an idiot. That's also an option. Jose Dioto is stealing away the Gromp again. Stolen that twice now. And speaking of stealing away, they're looking to take away this blue buff. And now Grell has to back up. Ackerman spotted. And they're going to push Grell onto the Wolves as nobody's coming over. If they get a good Diana ulti, this could flip this fight on its head. It's not going to happen, though, as All Knights will be able to successfully pressure Estral off of their blue buff for now, and just will overall, actually. Jose Dioto just going to take a back here, as we're starting to see a lot of first items come through. We already saw the Frozen Heart. We've seen the Bork for a while. We've seen the Shiv and the Proto Belt. Sundered Sky for Jose Dioto, now finished up, though, as we see the Celestial opposition on both supports. Not shocking at all. Very popular, very common. As Gastrix narrowly gets his recall off. Just was about to be spotted out by Snaker. And you can see the plates again. Estral Esports continuing to win in that department. I believe it was 2 in mid. I don't know how many it was in bot. So at least 2 in mid. I know that one. But the Herald up now as the plates fall. Great change. It really allows other things to happen that aren't the Herald. So now the warding game continues here. It's about getting picks with these teams, and nobody with an incredible read, but there's the crash down into the Magnet Storm. Nobody forced to flash away. He's ignited. Does Cody have the damage? He's going to be able to jump away, though. Got a lot there, but is going to deceive back and keep himself alive instead. As Estral spend a lot there, but get a good... I mean, they get flash out, and they get heal out of the All Knights, so... Or, well, out of nobody, and heal off of All Knights entirely, so not bad in exchange for Ignite, which is relatively short, and Magnet Storm, which is also relatively short. As All Knight's actually going to be able to push back Jose Dioto off of this Rift Herald as Grell goes in, finds a phenomenal flash ulti, and that is 1. Ackerman trying to run away. It is 2 for the All Knights. Big shot down on Snaker and a nice follow-up kill onto Ackerman, and All Knights have found the angle. They will get the Rift Herald. They will get money onto this Diana and onto Xayah. And that is just overextending, overconfidence from Estral there. And a great punish by the All Knights. They are still down just under 3,000 gold, but they get the punish, and that's what matters most at the moment. For now, Cody will pick up that first turret in the bot lane. Nobody is here to answer. And it's going to take a lot of damage. This AD LeBlanc is absurd. Jose Dioto looking for Gromp Steal number 3, and he will succeed. You see Hadan leading in XP as Cody gets hit by the last possible pixel of that ult of that tornado, but Jose Dioto and Cody jump in on the final breath and kill Nobody. A good bait, as he will get Bork at least, but a great bait from Cody. I don't know if he meant to get caught there or just did, and Jose was like, this is our angle, but it was very well played from Estrel's jungle mid jungle. Ugh, saying it the other way sounds gross. Mid jungle, we've seen it already happen. We've seen it happen plenty of times across their now 9 games, as we are in their 9th, actually. I'm dumb and had to count. But that is more of the Estrel we expect, not the river fight fiasco that happened. The Snake are going to just continue to farm up here. We're seeing all the final items kind of come through. I believe that is a frozen heart. Another one? Ackerman is not caught. It's going to be really hard to burst down Ackerman. Has the locket, has celestial opposition. It's going to just be very difficult to try and get rid of it. Has the crash down as well to increase his armor, as the crash will come through from the Rift Herald. Will they be able to clear it in time? They will. And it just will be the turret crash and some Void Mites hitting hard. And now Grell jumping in. Ackerman missing the core engage. And now Gastrix will land the Grand Entrance. And there's a 3-man Diana ulti. And there's the Yasuo follow-up. Jose Dioto's got a flash away. And it's a 2-for-0 for All Knights as Hidan goes on a killing spree. And this will be the mid turret falling. And this is an absolute script flipper right now. Estrel so favored over this team, and what I've been calling the the CB LOL All-Star team is showing up against number 1 in the league. You can see the total tick, my god. Cody at 10,000. No one else within barely within 2k of him. Yeah, that is AD LeBlanc for you. And now the Zeke's Convergence. I have not built Zeke's in a while. I believe Ackerman spotted out here, so All Knights know not to go in. Cody might not know to not go in, though. That's going to be really nice for the Rakan, actually. You get the slow off of the ulti. It makes it just significantly easier to land the follow-up. And, of course, punishes them for getting charmed and then getting airborne. That it's hard to run away after that combo goes through. It's just all around wins. As we see the Storm Surge finish now for Grell, though. I feel like I meant to mention that and just looked somewhere else instead. A lot of damage is going to be coming through from that Diana. It hits everyone. It's not going to be pretty. Cody looking to get as much of this Tom Turret as he can, though. How on earth is there a shutdown on Zoth, dude? Zoth has no kills. He's 7 CS ahead. His opponent is 3-0-1. What the heck are you doing, right? As we actually do see the Frozen Gauntlet finish for Hidan. I gotta not say Frozen Fist, man. Can't say it anymore. And there's no other items really close to being finished just yet, as Grell is coming down to help Hidan push in this bot tier 1 to continue to put the pressure on to Estrel. But we're gonna need to see something phenomenal from something absolutely unfathomable from All Knights here if I want to believe that they have a chance to finish this game, as Hidan is getting a little bit of a collapse onto him. But Grell is right here. I don't think nobody's coming down. The Magnet Storm going to land. Grell just needs to land the ulti, but it's not going to happen in time. But they will find Zoth, who somehow has a shutdown. Jose Dioto going to be able to use the kick to get everybody from Estrel away. That's a lot of damage onto Trigo right there. But Estrel Esports try to find a pick. And now All Knights back within 1k after being down just 3,000. After being down 3,000 gold just a bit over 10 minutes ago, I believe. And the rapid fire cannon will be finished here for Cody, but they try to get it, but they're trying to burst down a very tanky Hidan. They're trying to burst down a Cassante, and it's not just gonna happen. And the re-engage from All Knights there, the counter engage is really good. Grell does indeed get the ulti off. Nobody wasn't there. Nobody was not able to follow up with it, but Cody trying to solo. Nobody He's going to be forced to flash away, and there's a lot of teleports coming in here as we're going to have a fist fight in this top lane. Now, to keep this top turret alive, Zoth will be able to get the job done as the Rage Blade is finished for Snaker, actually. Hello. And there's a lot burned there. Cody forced to flash away as Jose Diodo lands the Q onto Grail. Will not even think about recasting it for a second as Cody trying to just finish off this mid-tier 1 with the help of Snaker, and it will finally fall. They've put a bit of effort into it, and they'll extend the gold lead to 1,200 for now, but this is not what anyone was expecting coming into this game, as the not very quick blades finish for Trigo, allowing him for just way more spell rotations than usual, and then ability haste would let him have, actually. Ackerman, not spotted out yet, actually. Zom, obviously, as he just killed a wave. He's spotted out. The Blighting Jewel for Grell here, going to be very useful against Ackerman, and depending on which path he goes, he's probably going to go Crypt Bloom, and it is just very valuable for entire teams to have a Crypt Bloom on it, or to have multiple Crypt Blooms, even if you are capable of doing that. But Cody will be here to catch this wave, so no top tier ones fallen for Astral just yet. As you can see, the most, I mean, just pretty much a lot of vision, most of the vision control in favor of All Knights here. They have the vision of the Baron. They have a lot of this mid lane covered, actually. They're actually going to push this in as well. Jose Diodo looking for a kick angle. Ackerman going to land a great crash down. There's the fate sealed, but the final breath comes through, but it will be one for Zoth. If it'll be a kill for Ackerman onto nobody. Jose Diodo is fighting in the gulag. They're trying to keep him alive. They will get the shutdown onto Hidan, and it's a 3-0 so far for Astral. Are they going to be able to extend it? Cody is running forwards. He's going to land a hit onto Trigo. He'll hit a little of Gastrix, but he's going to disengage with that deceive to keep himself alive, and Astral find a great fight to put themselves back on 3,400 gold, and they will find a Baron off of this with their triple AD comp. So very low, needs to be careful not to die to the Baron, but they should have this. There's no chance of a steal here from Grell or, well, anybody really. So they will be back within about 5,000 ahead. And this is on the back of Ackerman into the fate sealed. Ackerman and Zoth putting on a beautiful combo right there. Nobody's flash, just a little bit too late. Jose Diodo just gets out a great stun there by Ackerman with the Shattering Strike to keep his jungler alive and give over no gold. But it will be a third dragon over to All Knights. And with that soul, it's going to be really hard to stare down nobody in Trigo. It will just maximize their wave clear, and it will be a lot of autos flying very quickly. There's going to be a lot of tornadoes as well for the Yasuo, so it is a dangerous situation that Astral have to face down in just about 5 minutes. But you could see the gold lead went so high, it started to dip down close to... It started to dip down close to 0 there, and now it is way back up to just a shade over 5k. Cody going to be able to finish off this turret. Nobody. Not really going to do anything. Just going to make sure Cody doesn't keep sticking around, but he's going to be able to push in this wave as Astral are looking for this top tier 2. There's 5 covering it now, and that's just allowing Cody to farm up safely in the mid lane. The Maw was finished for Jose after Baron. The Zeke's was also finished after Baron. Unending Despair for Hidan. Holy piss, Cody. 18,000 damage. He's 7k ahead of anybody else in this game. Almost on the button. And that is a scary LeBlanc. That is the power of AD LeBlanc. It is a mystery as the Q3 going to land. Ackerman going to be forced to jump away as there's a nice 2-man feather or blade caller, but no one going to be able to get comboed there. Gastrix just didn't expect that to land. Zoth is going to get juggled a little bit, but is going to be able to jump back with the Soul Unbound recast. Jose Diodo fishing for an insect, it seems, as Hidan going to jump on him. And Cody able to jump away with the double deceive, I believe that was. As will take down that top tier 2, right? As the Baron is about to expire, they're going to get their last backs in. Cody just continuing to put the pressure on mid. You can see how low that inhibitor turret is right now. The Cyclosword was finished a while ago for Cody. Oh, piss. It's terrifying. Steel Sigil. We're going to see a GA this game. I think, I don't remember what else it built into, is we have the IE for Zothiv, and that is a lot of crit. He has, I think he only has the crit from IE. Pretty sure he only has IE crit, and that is still getting boosted. So he's fine. The Unending Despair. I probably brought it up already, but Unending Despair can be absolutely is just absolutely perfect this game. 4 AD threats. You don't even need MR. Rel isn't going to be able to do much, and Cody's not doing much in terms of AP here, but there's going to be a big combo that lands onto Grell and Gastrix now. Ackerman keeping him locked down, but there is the re-engage. The Yasuo ulti coming in, but nobody's dying just yet. But there goes Grell. Zonthiv chasing down with the Soul Unbound, and now the all-out for Hidan as Trigo trying to find Ackerman. The kick gets Hidan knocked away. Jose Dioto's going to half, but Snaker's going to be able to find the damage and get the kill. Trigo will trade back 1, but it will be a shutdown. Not even a shutdown, just a kill onto Trigo for Cody. And Astral Esports, it looked a little shaky at the start, but they have finally pulled it all together, and they are looking to shred All Knight's base to pieces right here, as it is only Gastrix for another 7 seconds. They won't be able to end off of this unless they kill Grell on spawn, pretty much. But they will get 2 inhibitors, and the pressure is on for All Knights now. The temperature is way high, and it is looking like a clean Astral cruise to the finish as they get to 10,000 gold ahead. And there's going to be a lot of items coming through here, as we already had the Wit's End for Snaker a little bit ago, but this all kicks off with Ackerman catching a great engage. And it looks like it's turned back when nobody gets a good ulti, but it just doesn't do enough. Cody's low. Jose Dioto's just nearing half, but that's about it. And then Zothiv will find 1. Nobody is going to get smacked back down. Meanwhile, Hidan in the backline is trying to do anything, trying to be the hero, but he gets Dragons raged away and cannot continue the fight and has to just die to Snaker. And it is, look at that damage. Both of Zothiv's damage is from chasing Grell and fighting nobody, by the way. That's a lot. As Astral will look to deny the Drake Soul and also Snaker most of his damage on Hidan. It is very funny. It will be a 3-2 split in the Dragons right now as the Baron is spawning and Astral have control of everything. Up to the base in minions right now for All Knights. They are just being strangled out. They didn't really push their advantage hard enough, apparently. Oh, nice airborne there. Didn't really need it. But now Astral just going to start the Baron, and even if All Knights knew it was happening, there's not much they can do about it unless they find a magical miracle moment here. And they won't even try. Baron for Astral, the second giant purple worm for them this game, and this could be the decisive blow to All Knights in game 1 here that ends their improbable game so far. As it is time for a 1-4 split once again for Astral here. As Cody should be able to safely push in this mid lane. And there's the Infinity Edge for Cody. It's become impossible. The GA for Jose, it has become even more impossible. The Void Staff finished for Grell, so did not actually go the angle of the Crypt Bloom to heal the team up a little bit on kill. Instead, opting to go for the more damage route. As we're seeing an MR item for Hidan here, huh? The shield bow has been finished for nobody. I don't think it's going to change much. Bloodthirster for Tadigo. Maybe it gets something, but Zothev is just going to chunk Gastrix down for the moment as Cody coming in on the flank. And the danger is on now for All Knights. They are just stuck under this one turret. Cody is making sure they stay still. He's just going to keep hitting them with energized auto attacks from max range. And you could see how much damage, just how hard he's able to chunk down these enemy champions as they're going to try and jump onto Hadan. Hadan going to Pathmaker out of the CC. But now Cody is just soloing nobody right now. And it is not even a competition. Nobody has to run to the base, but the flash auto and the sigil will get the first kill here to kick everything off. The autos, or the ulti, has nothing to follow it up, as it will be 2 for 1 so far. Make it a 2 for 1 in a turret, as Hadan trying to continue to be the hero of this team. But now they've got onto Trigo. They'll only get the GA of Jose Diodo. It is the ace for Estral, and finally it is the end of game 1 as All Knights will fall despite their chances and their lead. Estral, I guess defy the odds to come back and win there, but it wasn't really defying the odds. They were the favorites in that game, and Estral will have a clean late game to secure their 9th consecutive win of the year as they take the 1-0 lead in this series. And it is, oof. That one's got to hurt a little bit, eh? You had your chance. You were never at the lead. That is the thing to point out, is that there was no lead in that game for All Knights ever. They never had the gold lead in a significant manner. They probably had it during the laning phase, training minions back and forth, but they never had it in a meaningful manner. And that kind of foreshadowed, or not foreshadowed, but that's kind of the telling of this whole game, is All Knights get ahead, or not All Knights, Estral get ahead, All Knights answer and look really clean, but they never get in the lead, and Estral just put them back in their place. And there were definitely moments where I thought this was, oh, that's cold. Sorry, I have a zipper. My jacket zipper was on me. But that felt just so painful to watch for both sides, because if you're Estral, you're like, this shouldn't even be a dogfight. We shouldn't be in a super close battle with All Knights. And if you're All Knights, it's like, we had them. We had the soul, Drake's soul in the hands. We were one fight away from taking that, from completely opening up this game, and just could not do it. And that is hopefully not the angle they take into this, though. Yes, you were probably 1 or 2 fights or picks away from getting the advantage and putting Estral in a very, very scary situation, but they need to just clear out. You can't afford to go, what if that one fight in that game, or what if we contested something? You just have to kind of think about it the other way of, we were 1 fight away, let's get them, because it's not going to be helpful. And there's Gastrix getting a bit overzealous on checking a bush, and this should have been this was such a strong blow to Estral's game plan. A great shutdown onto Grell, and then this is probably not helpful. Nobody thought he had Cody, and he did not have Cody. Cody had him, and Jose Diodo did too. And then this catch out just didn't really amount to anything. They get Ackerman, and this is the wrong fight. Great ulti. Such a good chain, and you can see there's so many moments where it's like, oh, and then this fight, they got like 3 or 4 fights in a row where they had the upper hand on Estral. Estral thought they had a great catch here onto Hadan, and then All Knights call in the hit squad and trade 1, another shutdown, by the way. But then there's this play. Ackerman catches All Knights lacking, and Zothev makes sure to punish them for it by hitting a great 3-man fate sealed. As indeed, This was the start of All Might's fate being sealed. There you go. There's the biting wit, the sharp wit you come in for. And then another fight where maybe you think All Knights can have it, but everybody gets out. And then the gloves are the gloves are off for Estral here. They get everybody out of Grell's ulti, and they get everybody out of nobody's ulti. And it just wasn't going to happen after that. As you see Cody doing a little bit of carrying once again, 32,000 damage, and probably going to end up getting MVP this game without a doubt. Riot, please, we're begging you, nerf AD LeBlanc. Please. It is awful. It is really fun to watch. It is extremely unhealthy for any meta, though. It is insanely unhealthy. Like, it's too good. Yes, obviously, that was also a super fed LeBlanc, so LeBlanc was level 16. I think nobody was like level 14? If that. Yes, this was a super fed LeBlanc in the hands of probably the best mid laner in the region right now, but still, it is just absolutely absurd that this champion is so unbelievably strong as it is, building the things it does and getting away with it. It's just too mind-blowing and stupid, and I hate it. But of course, great play from, great. Estral got 2 picks that probably should never even be considered to be left unbanned against them. Like, it's Snaker and Cody, 2 of the best players in the region, and you're leaving 2 of the best champions in the game untouched. Just not even banned, not even picked up. They're on blue side. Estral's on blue side, and you left Kalista up. They have slammed Kalista every time they've gotten the chance to, and it has worked out beautifully for them. Every single time. Most times. I don't know if it's every single time, actually. I should check. I can check. You know that? It's the power of Snaker's games. I want to make sure these are the correct 3 games. Just gotta check really quick. 4-0 on the Kalista this season. 4-0. 2 of the games were yesterday. 1 of the games was, I believe, that was week 1, day 3, against Infinity. Yeah. I'll get the updated stat line for Snaker's Kalista after this game. But yeah, just leaving that unbanned is a mistake. Leaving LeBlanc unbanned in general, probably a mistake in this meta right now until she gets until they find out how to nerf her a bit stronger than they've tried to already, because it hasn't worked at all. So it is in the best interest of All Knights, if they want to have a chance at winning this game, to ban those champions away, because they did come back to bite them in the end. I mean, LeBlanc doing most damage in the game, the Fate's Call costing you a kill onto Ackerman that could have probably turned the fight potentially. It's just, you can't leave that unbanned anymore. You can't. Snaker's too damn good at the champion and too damn good in general to really leave up one of the strongest champions. And I didn't even add in Kalista's just too damn good on her own. Yeah, just stop leaving that champion up. Stop it. It's bad. As to the surprise of nobody, Cody will take the MVP. 5-0-6. 5-0-6. Damn. On this LeBlanc, and they're only going to show this because it is probably the best looking kill of the bunch. This dodge on the tornado into a deceive flash auto sigil. It was very well played, and yeah, Cody was a menace this game, of course. 33,000 damage, 5-0 and something. A lot of death was had at the hands of the Deceiver. And it's probably going to get banned next game, and Cody's going to get his hand. I mean, this guy made Cassiopeia look unbeatable. This guy made Cassiopeia look fun, just unbelievably unbeatable. So, yeah, exactly. This guy's pretty good. And so with that, it being a clean, very messy 1-0 lead for Astral, we will be taking a quick break before game 2, where we hopefully see All Knights respect the very good players on this team a little harder in draft and ban away LeBlanc and Callista as they try to force a game 3, while Astral try to remain undefeated in game score and matches as they aim to go 5-0, 10-0 after game 2. See you after the break. is muted. I'm sad. My mic was muted. I absolutely blew it. But welcome back for game 2 of Astro Esports versus All Knights, as Astro lead 1-0 and look to maintain their perfect season, while All Knights look to force game 3 and pick up their second win of the year. This is, I didn't say it earlier, so I'm just going to do it now. Shameless plug. This is the Kimchi Cast, Ironbox Kimchi, blah, blah, blah. You get it already. And that is the wrong day. I actually completely forgot to change the day. This is day 8. So welcome to day 8. Very underwhelming. Very silly, I know, because I'm dumb. But we saw a shockingly close game in game 1 to start off the day, as All Knights gave Astral a real good run for their money here. But is it going to last? We did see Astral completely come back. Ooh, excuse me. Pardon. Completely unfazed and just run back and smack All Knights back to their base and destroy the Nexus in 32 minutes. So will it be more the same or not? And I am right. They did ban away the Callista and the LeBlanc out of just, I guess, fear, respect. Last game being terrifying. And Astral going with the Karma and the Rumble, two very strong champions, and Tristana, who has been getting a lot more respect here, or a lot more bans recently, as we see the there's Jose Dioto's hovers, but it will be the Milio Lucian, as we see Hadan taking the Azir for nobody here to just get that mid laner out the way. One of the best mid laners on the patch still, and perfectly good pick here. No reason not to pick up an Azir when it's handed to you, unless you have something better in mind, or like, I don't know, you have a Nico or a LeBlanc at your hands, of course, unless you want to pick something else that's better than it. Good luck getting that, as we have a Nautilus picked first before the ADC. And unless they take the ADC here, this will be a very interesting lock-in, as we usually don't see this in really any meta, with exceptions of when supports are just absolutely psychotic, of course, but okay, good. I was like, it's not very common to see the supports picked and left, and ADCs left for later in the draft phase, or in second rotation, but it will be the Aphelios Nautilus into this Lucian Milio, so very boring matchup, probably, unless the Lucian gets caught really bad. And Corki Azir, we're going to have a very not interesting mid lane matchup, or a very stale mid lane matchup, I guess. It's kind of always it's meta, it's not meta, and then it comes back after a while. It's weird. It's like Syndra, except now Syndra's really strong and no one's picking her. Even when Syndra's not meta, everyone will pick Syndra. Everyone knows how to play Syndra, everyone will take Syndra. It's very silly. But now with the Poppy banned away, intriguing. I don't know how I feel about the Poppy ban, but it's okay. As we see the Maokai taken away from Jose Dioto here. Intriguing still. Because this is a lot of jungle-centric bans right now. They're not really worried about the top lane. If I see a Yone ban, I know what's happening, though. Aatrox. Every time. It's Aatrox. As the Cassante actually taken away here, I don't think Cassante is very common for banning in the league. I mean, usually Cassante is left open. Yeah, this will be only the 6th time Cassante is taken off the board. It's not very frequent that we see Cassante banned away here. But it will be the case. And Vi, banned away from Jose Dioto, doesn't really pair well with Corki, but is just that Jose Dioto is freakishly good on Vi and very comfortable on it at this point and will run circles around you. So it's best to not. As we see the Jarvan actually taken by Jose Dioto, as you see there, 0-2 on the year. So not a good start for Jarvan. Still very good as a champion, but not ideal. Why are they hovering Yuumi here? Digo doesn't normally hover Yuumi, so I'm confused now. And it will be the Udyr taken for Hidan here. Blind and instant Xin Zhao lock-in for Gastrix. You see the Udyr 0-3. Yeah, that's exactly what it's expected. These are normal hovers from Ackerman, though, unless I just don't pay attention to Tadigo enough. And it will just be the Aatrox into the Udyr 5-5. That's Milio's stats, by the way. Aatrox indeed is 6-4. Milio is 5-5. It's how that works out. Or no, Milio's 5-7. Dang. Is Aatrox 5-5? Aatrox is 6-4. Why did it say 5-5 for Milio, though? That's just very wrong. Milio has 12 games this year. But we are seeing a lot more of a standard comp here. Tank Bruiser top lane, Tank Bruiser jungle, Mage mid, and Hyper carry bot lane with a, in this case, Enchanter and Engage tank. Usually this season we've been seeing a lot of Enchanters. They've just been really strong. They fit best for double support 90% of the time unless you're playing with Senna. But we are seeing just pretty standard comps here. The Udyr, if you told someone in like 2019 that Udyr would be getting consistent play time for the past 4 seasons, someone would lose their mind. Like, there's the sign earlier, by the way. But like, going back to 2019, imagine saying that Udyr would be meta in like 3 out of the last 4 seasons. No one would be happy. No one was happy. And still, no one is happy about Udyr being meta, but we are jumping into game 2 here. Could be the last of this series. Unless All Knights pull the rabbit out of the hat and take the blue side and take away an opportunity for Astral to etch themselves into the history books. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case unless we have a crazy game 1-esque scenario. So we can see nothing really interesting going to happen. And very normal rune sense coming through. We're gonna see the aftershock here for Gastrix, not the glacial augment. Still normal, just an alternative. Tadigo not going for the lethal tempo, going for the fleet. As we will see 2 deep wards come down, but nobody getting jumped on by Cody early, actually. So that's going to be nice for Cody. Nobody already quarter health almost. Forced to chug a potion, and I mean, that's some money in Cody's pocket, most importantly. Money in Cody's pocket with the first strike. Oh, and Jose actually got the ward up there, too. He killed the ward that was in that I believe that was nobody put down. Meanwhile, the ward on the on the Raptors completely unchecked or unkilled, sadly, because Tadigo couldn't get it done. Gastric's going to hook a minion here, actually, so Astro going to take that opportunity to get a little bit of punish, and with this trade that nobody took to start laning phase, Cody's basically 1, a minion ahead, and 2, look at the health disparity already. As Hidan and Zoth got down to some fist fighting in the top lane, and both are sitting at just an inch below or above half health. Gastrix fishing for a hook here, but Astro going to be able to stack this wave in such a, or not even stack this wave, I'm a liar. You're going to be able to have the wave control in such a way that they can't really do much about it, and they can't really punish Astral for trying to push out here. As Hidan going for song as old as, like, tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme. It's proxying an Aatrox. It is the only thing you can do into Aatrox. It is the only thing that happens to Aatrox every single game without fail. Get proxied. As we see Grell coming in, this hook from Gastrix needs to land, and it will land onto Ackerman, and they're going to try and engage here, but Snaker has some good damage to keep everybody away. Now actually jumping forwards here, going to land even more onto Grell. The first trick not going down, but meanwhile, in top lane, has Zothiv found a way to flip the script. Hidan going to be able to try and run away. The flash from Zoth is not going to be enough here, and Hidan going to be able to run with the ghost and escape and get the flash out of his enemy, or his enemy laner. So, is going to be very successful, actually, for Zothiv, or for Hidan, because now can't run away from an Udyr anymore. And Cody and nobody continue to trade very aggressively as Gastrix is getting a little bit of the beat down. Trigo going to root off Ackerman, but not going to be able to do much with it afterwards. Zothev going to actually get a lot of value out of Hadan right there. His full health bar is still almost full, though, because Udyr. Don't ask questions. Teleport coming back from Cody, and nothing crazy just yet. Nothing crazy yet. Hadan going to get some damage down, but you can see the health bars are almost equal. Yeah, Aatrox. Aatrox stuff. He has a lot of healing. And nothing crazy. The tier started for Cody. Probably going to go the Metamune Malignant Eclipse build. That is pretty much the only build you're gonna see at the moment in both solo queue and pro play. It is just the best quirky build. Allows for a lot of damage, then allows for rockets to do a lot, and then allows for him to shield off of each rocket hit because Malignance counts as an extra hit of damage. Just simple, easy, gets the job done. Not going to get a lot of first strike procs for now. Really just going to happen when the missiles come through, and it's mostly for the burst of it. True damage you're going to get, but Zoth going to have to start running away. He does not have flash, and Grell is here with the flash. W-E, and there it goes. First blood to Hadan, and all knights come out swinging in game 2 as they are going to punish the over-aggression of Zothev, thinking he has a chance to fight Hadan here. Meanwhile, nobody going to get this push in on Cody. Trigo is going to try and stop a recall. Not going to end up happening as Grell is going to take the Void Grubs spawning. The first Void Grub spawn here without much challenge. I mean, Zoth just died. Jose Diodo is farming and is probably actually going to be able to get the Dragon. Jarvan, very good for that. And this is pretty much all all Hadan here. And Jose can't really rotate over. He's not in a position to. He sees Grell coming up and just knows Zoth has no flash and just gives it. Just gives it. And he knows that his top laner is soon to perish. Now, Cody with the rockets. The Emperor's Divide available, though. That's going to be important as Jose just going to be able to solo this dragon down. Very easy for Jarvan to do. He has a passive that's designed for it. He gets attack speed. He has a shield built in. It's a very crappy shield, but a shield nonetheless. And it's a bit of a slow take early. Has not a lot of damage, but we will see it go down in the Grubs first strike trade. I mean, they're calling that he's on there, and what you can do about it. Exactly. Standard builds coming through. Depends on what. That is the one thing that's going to change. What does Ackerman want to go first item? Does he want to go Moonstone, which is probably what he's going, or does he want to go for the Ardent Sensor? But it's probably going to be Moonstone. I can't see it being much else. That does tend to be the first item of choice here in pro play because you get so active early and you're always around other teammates mostly. And Zoth not hitting a single edge, and Hadan just wins that fight by walking back and forth. Cody. And there's the shuffle from nobody, and Cody forced to flash away immediately. And Cody thought he found Grell, or he thought he found nobody, and nobody found him. Instead, on a very bad flip around play. And nobody going to go into a very nice trade here, actually, as Cody going to get a lot of damage down onto the enemy Azir, though. Does have the CS lead for now. And there's pretty much no gold lead right now for anybody, as Gastrix going to go forwards, not going to hit Snaker, though, and Snaker's going to punish with that extended range and that increased auto range, better auto damage, as the proxy coming through can give Grell an angle to dive here. Zoth wants to hang around for too long, but he won't. Oh, he will actually. Maybe there's a dive angle for All Knights here. They don't know Grell's here. And Hadan just needs to start tanking. Where's the World Ender? It's going to eventually come out, but there's not enough edges being hit. But Hadan has a backup because he's getting targeted by the turret. Does Zoth have another angle in him? He needs another Q here. He's going to land one, and there it is. Does he chase down Grell? He doesn't have Flash available. He doesn't have an EQ. World Ender is over. Is Grell going to jump onto him with the Audacious Charge? And now, there it is. The 3-point strike, and the win became lightning for the All Knights jungler. And it is a nice pair of kills in this 1-for-1. It's 2 takedowns in this top jungle right now for All Knights. But Zothev going to be able to trade it back a little bit and get something in return. The Merc Treads will be finished to annoy nobody, and Hidan here. And this is really well played from Zothev, actually. Focusing on Hidan because Hidan is tanking this turret and focusing on keeping Grell as far away from him as possible. You can already see no flash available. And it's not going to get any better. Sadly, could not really get in range for this Q3 here. The only way he hits Q3 is if Grell chooses to go in on it. And by that point, he doesn't have it. That edge doesn't hit, it's over. He doesn't hit that edge, the fight ends instantly. Cody going to continue just trading a lot with nobody. That's kind of all you need to do here. Not very shocking. And Hidan instantly just going back to punishing Zothev for being Aatrox. Oh, Hidan overshoots. Zothev overshooting there by a lot. Hidan going to get pulled back, but he's not going to be in range of any edges. Going to get the stun down. Jukes the Q1. Gets hit by the Q2. The Q3 not going to come through, but the World Ender available right now for Zothev as Grell starting up these Void Grubs is looking to get a pair. That's 1 down, 1 more, and it is all over for Astral's turrets. And I don't think Jose Deoto is actually going to go for a steal here. So it should be a 6-0 Void Grubs game for All Knights. And they are in a very surprising position right now. Only 500 gold ahead, 400 now. But in a very impressive position here against a team that is well above their grade. Just well above their pay grade. Oh, Ackerman tanks the hook very well, but here comes the depth charge, and now the teleport coming in from Hidan. Ackerman already low, but it's nobody, and the shuffle comes through onto Snaker, and Trigo finds the kill, and All Knights are firing on all cylinders into Astral's game plan. There we go. Eventually you find the words that come through with it, and it goes, but that is good punish there. Ackerman wants to tank that because he knows that Snaker instantly dies if he gets hooked into the turret. Ackerman tanks it, and then Gastrix fires out the depth charge and just gets a lot, and that's just so much CC, and then nobody's here with the shuffle, and this is exactly it. Snaker rooted, Ackerman great positioning, but Gastrix is not taking any damage right now. And then Ackerman forced to flash away, the Breath of Life not even used, thinks it's over, and then a great teleport into the shuffle for nobody, and Trigo picks up that one. And that is just great play from All Knights, but Astral will get their second dragon for now, so some compensation in this game as All Knights finally will lead by 1,000, just a shade over 1,500, though it's probably going to tick closer back to 1K flat. And now the Gnasher's Tooth finished, the Storm Razor finished, the Hydra finished for Grell. Manamune for Cody. All Knights are in a really advantaged position right now. Cody, not an advantage position to hit any missiles, apparently, as nobody going to hit a good set of soldier autos there. As Zoth going to just continue to try and hit anything, but Gastrix coming down, going to land the hook, the flash hook onto Ackerman. There's the depth charge, and Trigo finds the kill. The culling comes out, but Grell is able to tank it up with the Crescent Guard. There we go. Crescent Guard easily tanks it up. And now 2-0-1 on this Aphelios. It is a scary Aphelios soon. A lot of money. It's not the end of the world. Storm Razor finished for Snaker now. And he's had some good Lucian games. But it does not seem like this is going to be one of those games. They spot out Gastrix. And they know they have to get away. And Snaker just accepts the fact that he's going to have to sacrifice his support here to try and survive. and gets the Crescent Guard out. At least that's about it, though. There's not much else Estral have on this map available to them. And it is All Knights in full control now. For the time being, at least. Can't say for how long they'll be in control or if they'll maintain this control. We'll see. Because Estral have dug themselves out of some holes. And I have no doubts that they can get themselves out of this one as well. There's nobody going to try and take away some of these Krugs. It's not happening. It isn't going to steal a single Krug away, actually. But he will give Grell the green light there to start taking this Herald. But now nobody getting dove. The shuffle not even going to matter as Jose Diodo will find the kill. Cataclysming through the Emperor's Divide. And Estral will find something in compensation for this Herald falling down. Cody letting the minions hit as hard, or letting his wave get hit as hard as possible before taking the turret so he can push it out and just leave. So we'll be Rift Herald. Not a lot of plating stake, and 3-2 in the plates, actually. So people were not on these turrets before the 14-minute mark. And now that the Herald is in the hands of Grell, it is the opportunity to open up this map for All Knights. Zoth is going to be able to clear off this wave perfectly now that he is, has damage and isn't base Aatrox. As Hidan going to sacrifice a lot of health. I don't think Zoth is going to go for this Q3 flash here. He's going to hit the Q1. The Q2 flash not going to connect, and it is Hidan once again just winning across the board in this top lane. And Sundered Sky is an item of all time, and it is very fair and balanced. As we see the Moonstone coming through for Ackerman, indeed. Just the better option. And they have the level lead, but it is looking very, very not much like they are leading anywhere else. Cody lands some good shots onto nobody, but still not the best situation here. They're in the situation of they have a comeback to make. They've cut the lead down to under 1,000 at least, or just to 1,000 flat. But Drake in 42 right now, and it is still a what's the angle for Estral here, because they need to get the package. I don't know if they've picked it up or if they've even used it recently. They probably want to grab this dragon because that is their only real win con at the moment. Is dragon scaling. Hidan going to be able to dodge out of the infernal chain. And Zoth tried to go for a reverse or a dodge backwards Q1 did not work. And there is the package now picked up. You can see, hey, look how fast Corki is traveling. They are ready to fight this dragon. But meanwhile, they're going to fight the Rift Herald in mid first as Grell has dropped it. Who is going to drive it if they even are going to send anyone to drive it? Because it is a bit dangerous to drive into the enemy team. It's going to be Hidan. And he does drive it the correct direction. And now that is the first turret falling on the side of Estral. The teleport in from Zoth, but he's going to have to dodge away here. And now the entrance to the river is all in control of the All Knights. As Grell going to jump onto Cody, but Cody's going to jump away. And there's Jose Diodo using the EQ flash cataclysm, and it's already one down. Grell has dropped for All Knights. And the re-engage not going to work. The kick in the head gets a lot of work done there. But Tadigo, red-white, he is trying to fight. He is trying to go forwards. He cannot go any further forwards. If he tried, Hidan is teleporting back in. This probably is just the Drake back over to Estral right now. Hidan trying to just run, distract. Gastrix hook not going to land. Once again, Jose Diodo trying to jump onto Tadigo. Tadigo going to be able to flash away. Snaker finds a kill onto Gastrix. And they're trying to get the ADC down, and they will. It's a big shutdown. There's the Emperor's Divide. That's already the jungler, but nobody's gonna have to flash out. Hidan is trying to chase Cody away with the pressure, hopefully trying to kill him, as nobody going to get jumped on by Snaker, and Snaker's going to find the kill onto nobody. That's already a second of this fight. Hidan is just trying to juke, dodge, dip, duck, and dive away from all of Estral's damage, and he will in the end. No Drake falls, but a 4-for-1 on the side of Estral. And that is how you reassert yourselves, as the gold is dead flat even, pretty much. I mean, a few hundred ain't gonna change much. The Murmana comes through. The Shirelias, I don't even know if he has Shirelias, as Grell is still here to try and take this dragon. So gets the package out, so not bad. But then Jose Dioto able to jump in, flash out. That was in range, really? Okay. Because there's one. And, geez, this is such a long Drake take. But Diego trying to go forwards while he has the Crescendum up. Isn't able to do much of anything. And then it is the teleport back in. Hidan trying to force them to back up. But there is one key issue here. They don't know Zothiv is on this flank. So Trigo already forced to flash away. Snaker going to find his first kill of this fight. And they're just onto the ADC. And that is so much damage that is not available, especially with suboptimal guns for All Knights. And that is not good. And there it is. 4-for-1. Hidan going to be able to juke his way out of danger. But now the All Knights have given up pretty much all of their pressure in this game. As you can see, the gold lead actually has swung back to 1,000 in favor of Estral. Or swung into Estral's favor. Grell literally died before that fight started. He did 0 damage. Meanwhile, we have a few 2,000s in there. No one went really crazy that fight. Snaker pretty much did his best, as Jose Dioto going to get hooked. He's going to be able to flag a drag away to safety. The Ignite comes out of Gastrix there, so that is technically a lot burned, as now Estral looking to return the favor. The Malignant's now finished on Cody, so he's going to be able to try and catch him. And there's the EQ into the Cataclysm for Jose Dioto. Grell is stuck into 4 members of Estral, and Jose Dioto will finish the job onto Grell and get his team the blue buff. And now Trigo in danger. Zothiv not going to hit the flash Q2, but he's back. And there's the EQ, and Snaker's going on a killing spree, as he has found his 3rd unanswered kill now. And it is Estral back in the driver's seat of this game. 2,000 gold ahead. And that is a Baron started. There's no jungler for All Knights. They are going to have to try and steal this, and it is not looking good for them at all. Nobody is looking for the shuffle here. Hidan going in, trying to get as much damage as he can, but he's not tanky enough to survive all 5. Jose Dioto will pick up the kill here. There's going to be no Baron contest for a steal, as it is I believe a 3-for-0 and the Baron for Estral Esports now. And this game has been blown wide open by the Bird Squad. What looked like such a competitive game from All Knights has fallen in the mid game and now has been demolished and ripped wide open here by Estral. Spear of Shojin for Aatrox. We already had the Frozen Heart. We already had the Malignance. Rapid Fire for Snaker. And it all starts here. Grell overextending, and just Estral are able to jump onto him instantly. And then Trigo is just way too far up against Zothiv here, against an Aatrox, as Grell is finding a level 14 Aatrox in his backyard. Jose Dioto coming in. I don't even know if he needs the Cataclysm here, as Zothiv will go on a killing spree now. And that is the mid-tier 1 finally falling. Estral in full control. They are just pushing in, and they have just a lot of pressure on the map right now. They can get a lot of things done here if they really want to. And they will just rotate up to this top tier 2. They're looking to finish this one off. The answers for Zothiv, they are sending in the backup to try and get this Aatrox down. And he is just barely taking any damage. It is taking a lot from Hidan here to get the job done. And now that he is at the turret, Zothiv is going to be a lot harder to kill, but Zothiv is just stalling for time. The Emperor's Divide not going to connect, but there is nobody that is going to be able to stop the Azir damage from coming through, and it is a big shot down into the pocket of the Azir, but Grell is getting dove on under his own turret. And Cody will get the kill here. They'll take the tier 2. Nobody will answer with a tier 1 for the objective bounty, but Astral still stay winning. The Rooker, I mean, I don't even think the Rooker mattered there. It's mostly for nobody later on. Or not for nobody, it's for Cody later. Because Zoth is not doing AP, shocking. Shocking that beating someone over the head with a sword isn't doing AP, but you get it. As we're seeing, I mean, the item discrepancy isn't massive here, as we see the IE actually come through for Trigo, which I don't even know. I don't know Aphelios itemization in this meta. As Cody has the package available, the Mountain Draco. What am I saying? As Estral have the end of the Baron, the tail end of the Baron power play to try and do anything. As Cody has spotted out the Udyr. And with the turret up, not going to be able to just use that package at all, actually. But is it going to be able to use the package to dive onto them and force them to take a lot of damage, as this is just going to be Jose Diodo and Snaker going, not even Snaker, no, just Jose Diodo going for this third dragon. And finally, the rest of Estral will decide to rotate over and put themselves on soul point with the next dragon spawning at 29:55. So buckle in, and maybe we'll have a team fight before then for Baron. If not, this game might actually end before that. And the Moonstone now finishes. Actually, Shirelia's first. Okay. And now Moonstone's done for Ackerman. The Novery Quick Blades for Snaker. Spell rotations are super important to Lucian, even more than they are important to Xayah, as he gets more passive procs with each spell he casts. The Eclipse for Cody, and it is the build. I mean, it's the build everyone was expecting, the build I was talking about, and how valuable it is for Cody here. Hidan has done the most damage. 18,000, just ahead of the 18,000 of Zothiv. But it's a lot of damage still, because two tanks beating each other over the head is a lot of damage. Shocking, I know. We're just waiting to see who's going to make the next big move here, as we're going to start seeing a lot of level 16s coming through very soon for these solo laners. And then eventually for the ADCs and junglers, but that's a ways away. But we're going to start seeing a lot of tier or rank 3 ultimates. Well, no, actually Udyr doesn't have one, so we'll see some rank 3 ultimates. Maybe. But otherwise, it is a mostly large level lead in favor of Astral, as one would expect here. These are pretty high level supports. I never see supports get to this high level usually, but maybe I'm just out of touch. Because in solo queue we get to high levels, or higher levels than usual. But I remember we'd have like level like 14 players, we'd have level 7, level 8 supports, as there's Zothiv running away with the World Ender from Hidan and Nobody. Man, having someone named Nobody is really trippy, you know that? Well, whatever. As Ackerman gets hit with a big Calibrum shot and a goo gun, as he is half-healthed instantly. If that was Bloodsong, Ackerman was dead. Double support meta was awful. As they found Hidan. Hidan going to try and jump onto Ackerman, but he's going to actually be able to run away with the heal and the Flag of Drag landing onto the Udyr, so safety for now. Cody, on the other hand, not in a good spot. Teleport coming through. That is a lot of damage onto Grell already, as Hidan's being jumped up by Jose Diodo. And now we might be looking at a 4v3 here. Nobody going to try and lay down the soldiers, set a line in the sand, but it's not going to do much, as he's already having to run for the honey fruits. Grell also running away from Estral, as the entire enemy team can't really do much. A nice dodge there by Snaker on the dredge line. And Estral going to be able to push All Knights out of their own jungle and start looking towards this Baron. They're starting to position very aggressively in the river. And Hadan going to get engaged on the flag. Drag going to land onto 2. The depth charge onto Snaker, though, but it's not going to be in range. He's able to run away very fast. The Cataclysm lands onto 3. Jose Dioto able to flash out as Zothev is coming in. Grell in the back lines getting torn to pieces. And now it is just going forwards for Astral. Trigo is not able to do much of anything. It's a double kill going through for Zothev. And it's a kill going over to Snaker as he goes on a rampage. And Cody secures the aces. Astral should be able to end this. And All Knights had an angle, but Astral had a better one as they will tear this base to pieces and look to finish the job and advance to 5-0. It is only Gastrix and Grell coming up. They have a lot of healing. They have a lot of damage. And they won't even bother. No, they will bother leaving the base. But Grell going to get the kick of the head. Jose Dioto going to land the flag and drag. The wind became lightning, but there's no audacious charge. Zothev goes on a killing spree. Gastrix runs away. It's a double kill for the Aatrox. Maybe they put Trigo out of his misery, but they'll put the Nexus out of its misery instead. And 5-0 is the result for Astral, as All Knights will fall to 1-3 ahead of 6 Karma because of tiebreakers, baby. And that is another game where All Knights had an angle and just couldn't do it. I really did think All Knights were going to put up more of a fight entering mid-game, but it just didn't even come close to happening. All Knights kind of had no choice but to keel over and die in the end, sadly. Just kind of happens. It is against the best team in the league, so not a surprise that they did have to just eventually they bent the knee. It's just how it goes, as they are trying to take their bow and are failing at it. Oh, and there they are with the 5-0 start to the season secured. They don't take a bow. They got a picture with the dope glasses. And it is well deserved, as they had a surprisingly hard-fought series against... a hard-fought series against not 6 Karma. All Knights. I mentioned 6 Karma once, and Brain turns to 6 Karma. I'm impressed that series was as close as it was. It really felt like it should have been more dominant from Astral, but it is what it is sometimes, and doesn't matter. Got the 2-0 in the end, so who really cares how hard the games were? Game 1 was way closer than Game 2, but Game 2 had a lead for All Knights in it, so which one do you think is more competitive is up to you, because in one of them, Astral came back from 1,000 gold down to win the game, and in the other one, Astral stayed ahead the entire time and eventually won despite a few blunders and what felt like a very good angle. Now, All Knights did play impressively well, very well for a team that probably should not have even stood a chance against Astral Esports, and especially one that went for such an interesting first draft. I mean, the Diana Yasuo went really well for them until it just became really difficult to pull off the combo because they were just jumping onto Grell instantly. So he couldn't really do much of anything by that point. I hate the word like, you know that? But it was just really hard for Grell to be that core engage anymore for All Knights, and eventually they did pay the price for it, so it does only get you so far. We'll put that on the timer, yeah. But for Astral, clean or messy wins are still wins, especially when you could pull them back together. Maybe it is a good thing that they had these kind of tougher games because they were able to go back, look at it, and mid-game just know, okay, this is where we need to go, this is what we need to do, and these are the steps to get there, instead of just being, we are ahead, we can kind of just control this game all the time. So it was very nice to kind of see a different side of Astral you don't really get to see, which is the side that has to kind of claw their way back into a game or regain control of the game, because they usually, unsurprisingly, always have control of it. So I guess not a breath of fresh air, but a very nice switch up to see this team able to play from behind, even though it's only 1,000 gold or they were ahead while playing from behind. But it is always nice to see them able to switch it to another gear and play it out, no problems. And with that, with that 2-0 from Astral Esports against All Knights to maintain their top spot in the LLA. There we go. Nope, that's not it. There we go. No, I didn't do it. I'm an idiot. Do you know that? I'm going to go to an extended break while they do all the post-game stuff, and I will see you for the next series, or the final series of today, Leviathan versus Rainbow 7 in a battle for second place. I'll see you then. Hello and welcome back to the Kimchi Cast, the unofficial English cast of the 2024 LLA Spring Split. And we have, another game in store. I don't know if it's going to be a close one or much of anything. To be honest, I love this team. I've been enjoying watching them play. I don't think they're going to do too hot here, but to close out day 2 of week 3 as we get closer and closer to the second half of the split, we have Leviathan taking on Rainbow 7 to take us out after Estral picked up their 2-0 to start the day off. Leviathan look to assert themselves in a weird position that no one expected them to be in after their dismal, disastrous last season, where with a win over Rainbow 7, they will take control of 3rd place. It's not a battle for 2nd. They would have lower game score. They would have a worse game score than Rainbow 7. I'm an idiot and can't count. But Rainbow 7, 3-game winning streak, just destroyed the former 2nd best team and formerly undefeated team in Isurus, of course. They didn't even make it look competitive. They look absolutely great with Lava playing very well and Summit coming in and being the 2nd best top laner in the region. Chile does it better than the Koreans in this specific situation. Not going to make that a blanket statement. I feel like it would be an unfair blanket statement because I don't think Summit's peak Korea, but Cody also beat Lava, so just saying Chile might do it better than the Koreans, though. Just a thought. Anyways, enough joking. Obviously, I don't think that's the case. Enough being a moron. For Leviathan, they've been taking a lot of teams they've been taking some pretty good teams to the wire. Of course, they beat All Knights. They're not that great of a team. They beat 6 Karma. What are you saying? I think they beat Infinite. Yeah, they did beat 6 Karma in a comeback, come from behind win in that series from 1-0 down. Their wins aren't against great teams, but they've almost taken a game off of Isurus. They almost took a game off of Estral, and in both of those cases, too little, too late for that team. They have the pieces in place to try and make a case for themselves in this higher tier of the league to potentially make really big moves. They have a chance to make some real big noise today, and as expected, everyone's saying 2-0 Rainbow 7 because Rainbow 7 are very good and very talented and are running through teams right now. And Leviathan are taking some teams close and then mostly looking pretty But after an 0-14, 0-16, was it 0-14 last year? Yeah. After an 0-14 season, anything's an improvement, and no better way to improve than trying your best at trying a hand at upsetting one of the best teams in Latin American League of Legends history. And for Rainbow 7, this should probably just be another day at the office or another day at the studio. They've been picking up pretty clean wins. They picked up 3 straight 2-0s, obviously, as most games have been 2-0s. We had one very specific day with 2-1s. It was weird. But it is Rainbow 7, it should just be more of the same, taking on these bottom half teams or teams that probably should be below you and just rolling them up and taking them out like nothing. So I'm expecting more of the same there from Rainbow 7. And I don't really think there's much to say about it. I don't really think there's a ton of weak spots that Leviathan are going to be able to take or to exploit, maybe besides Summit. Not that Summit's bad, I just think Jowney is very good, actually. He's playing very, very well for a player who's been out of, I think it was out of LLA for 3-4 years. I can check, because we have technology. But I think it's, or 2 years. Yeah, it's been 2 years since Jowney's been in the LLA, so he's had the opportunity to grow as a player, and now that he's back, as we are jumping into the draft, of course, he's really making a good case for himself. I don't think he's up there in top lane kills anymore. Where is he? There he is. 4th in the league in kills per game. Actually is leading top lane and is beating Summit by just under a quarter of a kill per game. Like, just a shade ahead of him. Barely even ahead. But I also do believe he has more deaths than most. So, Leviathan do have a very high death count. If you saw the primer on the main LLA channel, it's 9 deaths per game for Rainbow 7 to 11 for Leviathan, so makes a bit more sense. If you see the Varus taken here for Virus instead of the Callista, which Sayo is seeming to want instantly, as I need to wipe off my filter. It's annoying. And it will be the Callista pretty much instantly locked. Not instantly, but pretty much the first decision they made upon seeing this draft is the Callista. Very smart pick, very strong. I mean, we've seen it win. I think it was only one game today, sadly, as it got banned away pretty much instantly in game 2. And Odie going over to the Maokai. I don't know how the Maokai has done for Odie this season. Also, it's annoying. And I want to point out the Rumble ban away because it is very much like Xiaomi's. It's very strong right now, obviously, but it's also one of Xiaomi's best picks. He's been maneuvering it very well. Teams have been just giving him the Rumble. It's very weird, but he's been doing very well on it. As we see ganks onto the Sejuani, and we will see Xiaomi onto the Jax. Meanwhile, Odie undefeated 2-0 on the Maokai so far this year, so there's a chance. Oh, piss. Oh, Rumble 1-1 this season, but he has high kills, that's right. As we're going to see the Renata Glask, a very good pick here for Lions to pick up in this bot lane. Works very well with the Callista. Increases auto attack speed, obviously, and increases jump distance, actually. So that's very much something that Rainbow 7 wants in their bot lane. And we're going to see the Blitzcrank Vandalay very much useful for just dragging the Callista into a situation she doesn't want to be in and executing her very quickly. And the Cassante taken away. Something that I don't know, actually, if Xiaomi's played into yet. As Jack specifically, he's obviously played in Cassante. He did beat a Cassante. It wasn't that strong of a case. It was against against All Knights. He went 7-0-8. This season is Jax averaging 6 kills, half a death, and 4.5 assists per game with a KDA of 21 at the moment. So Jack's not a bad pick here at all. As we see the Gragas banned away and the Orianna taken away. Gragas very much just for this Jax pick, obviously. Sayo hovering the clown, very fun. Orianna, just a very good mid laner right now. And with the Azir banned away, they don't want to worry about the Ball Lady being the strongest in the lane, as Akali has been picked up for Lava. And I don't think it's going to be the build I think it is, but maybe one day. I'm waiting because I don't believe it. Nope. Yep, it is going to be the Corki into the Akali. I don't know if Phosphor Bomb reveals Akali and Shroud. We'll find out the hard way, I guess. It is not true stealth. I believe it is camo. It might be stealth. Camo has a range, stealth doesn't. That's right. And it will be Ignabilu onto this Nautilus to round out the draft. And we will see Summit onto the Jace. Oh boy, he's done this before. He's played Summit, or he's played Summit. He is Summit. He did win a game on the Jace 5-2-4 against Isurus. And oh boy, that curb stomp of a game. I just remember he beat up a Gnar with it, so we'll see if he can do it into a slightly different... Ooh, wait, hold on. Is this a trade not done yet, or is this actually the plan? Because if it is, oh boy, are we going to talk about this. Because, And with the draft ticking down, I do believe this is the case. Actually, it's going to be Lava into the Corki on the Jace. And it's going to be Summit on the Akali. And this is going to be good, hopefully. This is, hopefully will be very good. I'm wondering what's going to happen here. If you're wondering, for those of you wondering, Summit all time 4-0 on the Akali. 2 wins in 2019 LCK Spring, 1 win in LCK Spring 2020, and the last time he's busted out the Akali in the top lane, 2021 Spring against the Afrika Freaks, where he went 4-0-6 onto Anar. So it's been a casual 3 years almost to the day. It's about 2 weeks later, but almost the same time to the day for Summit taking the Akali back into the top lane, and this is a great matchup for him to take it into. The Jax is going to really not enjoy facing off against the 5-point strike and the shuriken flip at all, unless he could time everything super perfectly. And there it is. You saw the team zoom in on it, but we got the Corgi in mid. Let's go. Corki's best skin, not a question. He has a dog, and that dog is amazing and the best thing in the world. As Summit going to take a... It's going to tank a counter, but this is the advantage that he gets into Zhao for now, is this range advantage until Leap Strike is available. But even then, he can keep that range advantage if he knows how to shuriken flip in and out of the counter strike. So Zhao going to be tanking a lot of poke here that he's not going to want to stare at. Like, he's not going to be happy with. So Summit, good pick. And why not 3 years later? As we see, I mean, nothing of interest happening. Lava will be playing into a slightly annoying matchup for about 50% of the lane. And then the other 50%, he will be able to jump onto Kodapako here and really give him the business. Meanwhile, Rainbow 7 pushing in. Yep, they have the advantage here. They will be pushing in Leviathan's bot lane. Zhao not going to be able to really do much here still. Leap Strike onto Summit, but that's really it. That bone plating is going to be really valuable for Summit in this laning phase, because it's going to deny Zhao just that much. Just enough burst where it's not going to hand over a kill. Is Virus going to just tank the poke of Lions and not really needing to worry about it? And the health discrepancy in top lane is a big issue, but the farm is pretty dead even. So Zhao doesn't really care if he's losing trades as long as he doesn't die or lose farm, as the hook going to land on the lines, but the handshake going to drag Ignabilu back into Seo and Lions. But it will be a pretty even trade here as Virus throwing it down, as Rainbow 7 are getting very aggressive here. Ganks, I think, kind of accepted that his red buff is gone, or just doesn't know. He probably knows, and gave it over. So the bot lane rotation pretty much just confirmed it and gave them the opportunity to walk away with their life, as he will just go. He only missed one camp, so he will just go for the scuttle here. But the farm advantage for Odie is pretty big. He hasn't even touched his bot side yet, and he's invaded quite a lot. Just good invaded. As the Raptors will go, he will steal Odie's Raptor respawn away, so it's not all lost for Ganks just yet. As Ignabilu going to get hand shook into Seo and Lions again. And this time, Virus not going to be able to trade back nearly as much, as Kodapako getting the accelerated shock blast from Lava, and it is just not enough, but it will force the back out of the Corgi, and it should be Lava just bringing in these waves and forcing a lot of missed CS here, or forcing him to tank a lot of turret damage, or forcing the turret to tank a lot of minion damage. Sorry, hiccups. So pretty much out of mana here, but that doesn't really matter. They're just finishing this off. As Jowney going to be able to land the counter onto Summit, but that's really it. As, what the heck? Ganks is emoting, apparently teleporting from lava, and Jowney's just catching this top wave. As Summit will rotate down. They're trying, I think, to invade here, but there's not much to invade as Odie is just going to start these Void Grubs. He's very good at them, as the Maokai is very strong. Summit is going to be able to run out of Shroud to dodge the Counter-Strike at least. So now he can kind of just trade onto Jowney for free, but Jowney is jumping onto him, actually. And while the Void Grubs are being taken, Jowney is burning a lot of mana, a lot of spells up in that top lane to try and get anything. And that's going to be 2, as the hook doesn't land for Ignabilu. And now Jowney out of position. He's going to be hit into Summit, but the counter will allow him to get away, and it will be a response, a 2-for-1 split on these grubs. Oof. And Kodapako, meanwhile, taking a very ugly trade as Summit has the ulti available, is dancing around ganks right now. Ignabilu not really going to be able to do much of anything. It's just going to take his recall here. And Gank's going to clear off this ward as Kodapaka once again forced to recall, but this time no teleport available. Lava is going to be able to get a plating, or maybe even 2 plates with the 2 grubs available. Virus flash away from Lions. Didn't know if it was a handshake or not, but flash either way. Jowney is here, and the handshake is enough as Jowney will pick up 6, but that teleport is going to be very detrimental to the top lane of Leviathan, and he's going to get it canceled too by a spear, and that is just not at all optimal. As don't like Virus's build, just go Hella Blades. Anyways, so Summit going to be in a very, very good position here, actually, as a teleport bot lane from Jowney goes awry, and he gets canceled as well, and you're going to see it here. Just picture a perfect handshake right there, and then nothing Jowney can do about it at that point. He leap struck at the wrong time, and then his recall gets canceled, and it is a plating in the top lane for Summit, as the Rainbow 7 will be up 1,000 gold pretty much just through farm alone. You can see it on the Jax already. 27 CS behind. Doesn't have much of a choice. The Akali is just really able to run this lane as Lava is jumping onto Kodapako here and going to be able to get a lot of damage down. Kodapako just having to settle with surviving these trades for now, because he surely ain't going to win them, as Lava going to continue to just lay in some damage here. Not going to hit the accelerated shock blast, though, so that is one thing that does not go in his favor. I think he got that. I don't know why it didn't show. Maybe he did drop it. Jowney, now he's just becoming content with dodging anything, because he is in such a terrible spot right now in this lane, as Rainbow 7 will start on this dragon. Leviathan know they are on it and just will not bother contesting. Ganks just reset, so he is just going to go to his top camps, clear up, and maybe even gank top lane if it's possible. But otherwise, not even a trade. The Drake was taken significantly later than the Grub, so no trades. Summit is trying to back up Jowney right now, and it is working very well. Johnny has a potion. Does he have an elixir on him? Did he go triple tonic? Goober go triple tonic? That's crazy. And you can see this farm difference. It's not that bad in every lane until you get to top lane, where it is terrible. As Summit going to use the first half of the perfect execution to jump onto Jowney, and the perfect execution away, actually, the shuriken flip, he probably would have got the kill if he went forward with that. But there's a glacial prison staring him down, so he's going to opt to not go for it. His ganks is there to save his top laner's life. Accelerated shock blast misses. Oof. Kodapako and doesn't know that Odie is here, but probably isn't going to be pushing forwards all that much if you look at the wave state. Oof. And Kodapako's not hitting these missiles either. He's not hitting it. Odie's just going to hang around. He has nothing really to do here. And Kodapako missing the big one. This is just depressing, as Lava going to go forwards, but it's just going to be a quick W away from Kodapako, and Odie's just going to cross the lane here. As ganks. Kodapako is baiting right now, but the flash away from Lava on the Glacial Prison is flawless. And so the play falls apart for Leviathan, as Lava's just going to be able to walk away. Jowney going to land the counter-strike, but Summit still just doing way too much damage to Jowney, and Summit's just not doing anything yet. He needs to get an item, but he's so far behind in gold as well that it's just not even going to work. The handshake pulls Virus into Lions' damage, and Seo's going to land a spear that's going to do a lot, as Virus is now chunked to just below half health. Odie is here, so they know not to go forwards. And the CS, it hasn't gotten any better. It's actually gotten to 37. So it's gotten worse, significantly. As you can see, the total gold, yeah, this is exactly what we've been seeing with teams like Estral and Rainbow Seven for most of the season. Your top 3 in gold are your 3 farmers. Pretty much your 3 laners are top 3 in gold, and it is not changed. This entire, like, it's very much a struggle to try and stop Rainbow Seven and Estral from doing that, because they are just so good. They are so good, so strong, as Kodapako has walked way too far forwards, and there is the Nature's Grasp, and Lava will pick up first blood on this Jace, as the lead is now expanding to 3,000 gold ahead for Rainbow Seven. They are just, I mean, dominating without even killing anything, but finally, Odie's been wanting this play for so long, and he's finally gonna get it. Like, he's just been waiting for this play. He's gone mid now. This is like the 2nd or 3rd time he's just spent time hovering mid, waiting to throw Nature's Grasp down the lane, and it's finally paid off. And he's gonna get rewarded with the Void Mites. So, good for him. As we're starting to see these gold leads get a bit absurd, nearing 20 in every lane. We're nearing 50. We're going to hit 60 in top lane soon. It is just a complete counter in top. And Jowney is fighting to survive the lane at the moment. Not even fighting to win or anything. No, he's fighting to survive this laning phase with less than 100 CS down. As you can see how hard the punish is coming through right now from Summit. Absurd that this is just going so poorly. I mean, not shocking, but there it is. The accelerated shock blast. The perfect execution comes through. Summit has the R2 to get out. And now it is Lava on a good rotation, getting another kill now. And it is going to be another plating over to Summit, and it is just completely it's over for Jowney this game. He is not really going to be able to do much of anything to get into this game, as he does have triple tonic. This griefer. I don't like triple tonic at all. I think it's just not that good. I mean, it's going to come down to bot or mid to hopefully save this game, but it is just not at all looking like it's going to happen. It looks like Rainbow Seven have set themselves up in a beautiful scenario, the perfect scenario to just scale and end this. I mean, they already have Summit with a Rocket Bell finish. They have Opportunity already finished for Lava. As speaking of Kodapako trying to run, there's the Glacial Prison. There's the package going in, but he just does no damage right now. Odie, half health at the moment. Jowney going to be able to go forwards. Lions, half health. Will finally fall. The bailout they need to make sure Ganks doesn't die here. And there it is, the first kill. Going through. The counter is going to find Summit. And now, there it is for Leviathan. They found a fight. 2-0 at the Drake Pit. And maybe this is the angle for them to get back into this game. Still down 2,500 gold, though. And they didn't kill the priority target of Lava, but they got Summit. They got Lions. So they got something at least. And 2 kills onto 2 carries ain't half bad. They get the kills onto Kodapako and Virus here. And this looks like it's going awfully, but Kodapako perfectly buffers this to not get rooted up by Odie's twisted advance. And then in the top side, Kodapako and Ganks are just zoning off Lions. The Ignite comes out from Lions, actually. There's Summit going in, thinking he has an angle, but he gets hit with the Chain of Corruption and then just gets hit with a counter. Doesn't really work out, but Rainbow Seven will still get the second Dragon. You see the damage. I mean, that's Package and Missiles doing a ton of work there. Ignabilu needs to be very careful to not die here. It will be a Drake for the Herald instead, as Rainbow Seven will take the second Dragon and go up 2-0 in the Drakes. Leviathan will take their opportunity to get Ganks a Rift Herald and give him the opportunity to crash into a turret and open up this game, as Summit is just trying to finish off this turret. I don't think it's going to happen, but he's trying. He's actually going to take a turret shot, but he is 2 levels up on Xiaoni right now. And because they know that the Rift Herald was just taken, they know that Ganks isn't bot lane at all. He is not bot side, as the top tier one will fall. And they know that they can start pressuring and invading in the bot lane here, or in this bot side jungle, without any punishment. Because there is no chance Ganks is going to come down in time to do anything here. As Kodapako just trying to clear out this wave, and will succeed in it, actually. Ganks is going to come back to find that his jungle is slightly different, as Lava is just taking this tier 1 and bot. Ignabila will be able to buffer the hook very well, very nicely to escape there from the grasps of Lions. But will be red buff given up to Rainbow Seven, so still continuing to lose out on pretty much anything. They're continuing to just start or quickly fall behind. What? They're continuing to fall behind here to Rainbow Seven, as they are getting control of their bot side jungle, and Kodapako is getting controlled on by Odie, who will pick up this kill after the Nature's Grasp locks him down. He's not landing any of the rockets, even when Lava's not moving. And it is a dominant showing so far from Odie and the Lava on this mid-jungle duo, as they will push the gold lead back over 4,000. As they're trying to just get anything back in response, but they can't find anything. This is once again Kodapako getting caught by the Nature's Grasp. There's no vision in this bot jungle. They don't know where anybody is. These rockets are just not landing either. And Rainbow Seven continue to just suffocate Leviathan out of this game. And I don't even think there's an angle for them to come back here. I mean, maybe it's with the Varus, but you can already see 2 items on Lava. You can see that Seo's already working towards his second item. So is Virus, but it's going to be very difficult here to do anything. Igna doesn't have his first item yet. I mean, neither does Odie, but Odie just hasn't backed. Because Odie's going for the Hollow Radiance. My goodness. As you can see, total damage. These mid laners, and then the rest of Rainbow Seven's carries. But there is a catch out onto Lions, forced to flash over the wall. And while Lions will escape with his life, Leviathan will find something. As Lava, who's the teleport? It's Xiaoni, and this is not who you want to... I mean, I don't know who you would want to send here, because I don't think there's anybody on this team that can answer Lava right now and survive. Xiaoni just getting the Sundered Sky finished. And it's not looking like it's going to be much of anything. He just got the rank 2 ulti. Kodapako sitting off on a corner, waiting for anyone to push forwards. He's off vision still, as he's just going to take this back. And that's really it. There's just so much giving up that Leviathan have to do. They can't really contest much of anything here, as Rainbow Seven have just choked them out of all resources, really, besides some CS that they allow them to get. Ooh, got the whole backline there, though. Nice. But going towards this Malignance, Kodapako is going to pressure back. Summit, Ganks is here, but the Shuriken flip going to land, and there's no chance they are catching out Summit here at all. It's going to push out this top wave and take some recalls. Oh, turret doesn't hit that. Okay. Igna has been spotted. Ganks is being pressured by Summit once again, actually. Summit saw he was backing right there and will cancel it really quickly. And Virus just going to farm up this wave. He's pretty much a part of the last hope. Muramana at least finished for Cotopaco. And here comes the Herald. Will Leviathan drive the Herald? And the answer is no, but it's also a good choice because they would instantly die. Whoever that is would instantly die upon crashing. So it's for the best they don't send one, but that is, once again, another Herald that they have not driven no matter what the context is. Ever since that fateful day where the Herald bugged out for 2 different pauses, they're going to get the engage, though. Odie is going to go in counter engage, and there's Lava in the backlines with Summit going absolutely ham. It's 1 for Summit, 1 for Lava, diving the turret. Summit gets the double kill. Lava picks up his own double kill in the backlines, and a 4-0 for Rainbow 7. Leviathan have to bend to the will of the reigning champions as they are 7,000 gold ahead at 20 minutes, and this is more of the same from Rainbow 7. The same team we've been seeing for these past 3 sets has shown up in this series so far, and this should be a Baron. They have the damage from Seo alone to really push themselves over the edge here. And it will be all 5 members wearing the purple. Ignabilu trying to get anything, but Ignabilu has just walked to his death, and maybe there's a re-engage angle here. The teleport coming in from Cotopaco, but Odie's going to be able to jump over this wall and run away. And there is no angle for the re-engage. It is just Ignabilu running to his death, and it is now a 9,000 gold lead for Rainbow 7. That Summit thinks he has an engage angle, and he has a lot of people low. Dodges the chain of corruption, but he's going to get stunned up. He's going to be able to jump away with the perfect execution. The flash counter is not going to land, and it's going to be Seo picking up the kill onto Xiaoni, and Summit's wacky, psychotic suicide play somehow works out for him. And Seo is now on the receiving end getting fed, and that's the Rage Blade finished for the ADC of Rainbow 7. This has just become impossible. Lava has the Yomu's Ghost Blade finished. There's an Hourglass finished for Summit. It is just going to be so impossibly hard to kill off these carries, and Seo flashes through the Glacial Prison from ganks. And this is just them flexing their might at this point. Xiaoni is going to try and catch out Lava. The flash out from Lava at least is something in compensation, but not really that much when you think about it. As they're going to at least get their own red buff this time. But Odie gets the 3rd dragon, and Rainbow 7 are going to start pushing in this top side. They still have another minute 10 on this Baron buff, and I don't know. I mean, at least Leviathan will be able to survive this Baron buff. That is hopeful. Minimum. Gank's going to go forwards and isn't going to get anyone. And you can see the roller coaster ride of gold that they've been brought on as Ignabilu tries to go forwards, and now Summit on the other side of the base as Lava will pick up the kill with the normal shock blast. After Ignabilu got locked down, Summit trying to survive for now, and he will with the frenzy going out. They need to kill Xiaoni really badly, but Ganks will pick up 2. But Seo's gonna find 1. Cotopaco's running away. Ganks has a flash away from Seo, and he's going to take the portal out from their base. And Ganks gets a pair of shutdowns, but what does it matter? As that is onto a Sejuani, so at least Leviathan will survive for now, but that's a 4,000 advantage Baron power play. The Glacial Prison not going to connect. Both Seo and Lions able to dodge away from it. Good try from Ganks at least to get something, but they get mostly nothing. They get 2 kills onto a Sejuani, which is not optimal. As you saw, the Hollow Radiance finish there. And so Ignabilu get in chain, CC'd, and then just a regular Shock Blast to finish off the job. Summit is all the way up right now. And this is, I mean, he dies for this play. He dies for his greed almost escapes with the Berserk, but Johnny goes forwards. And then Ganks is actually going to pick up this kill with the... I believe that was a Sunfire he has? No, Bombies. He picks it up with Bombies. So I guess either good foresight or bad luck on the side of Leviathan or Rainbow 7, depending on who you got. Like, it was good foresight from Summit or really bad luck. Look at the damage. Kotopako's doing so much damage, but he just can't kill anything. Like, it's just not happening. This team can't kill anyone at the moment, and it's just... What is your re-engage angle? You're down 10,000 gold. Good luck finding an angle back into this game as the Wit's End is finished for Seo, and Kotobako is going to be doing negative damage to anyone on their team now. Or onto Lions. And Odie. He's not doing damage to Odie. As the Nature's Grasp comes out, and it's Ganks getting caught up. The turret's already falling. Ganks trying to go forwards, but Seo's going to find the kill as he goes on a killing spree. And Rainbow 7 are pushing in the base. They're looking to finish the job here in game 1. Close out a clean start to this series. And pick up their 7th straight win, but they won't be able to end just yet. They're going to have to turn around and escape and leave the base for now. Drake in a minute 50, Baron in a minute 13. And you can see the total damage. It is Lava and Summit, the weird lane swap roll thing that I wasn't expecting coming through. And it is just going beautifully. For Rainbow 7 right now, is Summit is looking to pick off Kotopako, but we'll just get him to jump away and regain control of this wave. And is there anything else coming through right now? Nothing quite yet. We're seeing a Lichbane come through soon for Summit, at least. And an LDR, it seems, for Lava. So it is really, really terrifying here. It is absolutely terrifying right now for Leviathan to try and do anything. They just can't do anything at all, as there's flash for flash lines, just flash forward, and Ignabilu has to respect that and flash away himself. And once again, just, I mean, this is just Rainbow 7. The threat of the handshake, the idea of getting caught by the handshake right there was enough to get the flash handshake. That was all it took. Flash for flash, as the Baron is going to spawn. Summit's going to continue pushing in these waves. And Rainbow 7 are going to try and burst down the Baron, but they aren't actually. They see Lava has an angle here, and they're going to wait to try and catch out Leviathan as they push forwards. It would be a 4v5 if they tried to fight now. Johnny would have to teleport in, but Johnny's 3 levels down right now compared to Summit. And there's Ganks going to the other side of the pit. As the Nature's Grasp comes through from Odie, Kotopako is gonna fall. Summit is gonna find the kill onto Virus. Ignabilu is not long for this world, as Lava's gonna pick up that kill. Ganks is not even close to stealing this Baron. It's a double kill for Seo. Lava is godlike. And that will be a wrap on game 1. Summit and Lava looking for the ace here, and they will get it. Johnny actually going to fend off for now, but Lava and Summit still collapsing on them, and the rest of Rainbow 7 are here to make sure this is a done deal. It is the ace at 28 minutes, and it will be the Nexus falling just seconds later as Rainbow 7 will take a 1-0 lead in a dominant fashion over Leviathan, and making a clear line in the sand of where the 2 tiers of the LLA are. Now, I said it wasn't probably going to be close because I know. I'm realistic. I absolutely have been enjoying watching Leviathan play, but there is just a clear divide between everyone else and Astral and Rainbow 7. And even then, there's a divide between Astral and Rainbow 7 that is even, I mean, is somehow continuing to expand, because it is very difficult to find a... With the 2-0, Astral is just making it very clear cut that they are the superior team for the time being. We'll see. Oh, excuse me. That rematch opens the second round robin next week. Or, well, okay, doesn't open the second round robin, actually, I believe. No, it does. It should, yeah. Because the last match of the round robin's on the same day as the first match of the next round robin. See? It's clever. But a lot to, I guess, review for Leviathan there. They had not many angles to get into that game. They had a tough top lane matchup. It's kind of the reason no one's first picking Jax right now. He's very strong, but he has very clear counters, and you could see all game what Jowney had to put up with. He couldn't farm. He couldn't even try to trade Summit, and Summit just got fed because of it. There were some fights. This is probably the only fight Leviathan won all game. I mean, it is. It's not even probably. It just is the only fight they won all game. And they didn't get Sayo, they didn't get Lava. Those were two huge shutdowns they needed to try and snag, and they just weren't able to get onto them, sadly. And they got 2 kills, but just didn't do anything. And then I guess they technically won the fight in their base, as this is Cotopaco. He got caught out twice by the Nature's Grasp, which just isn't very fun and very optimal, obviously. And Lava was just so fed. Lava was just an absolute monster. And then they thought they had the angle here, but Summit had the angle onto them. I mean, you lock down Odie, it's not really useful. And then Cotopaco just has to instantly disengage after using the package, which always sucks. And it's kind of a sign of that that this game is over. And then Summit just had to think about it. He thought about it, and he was like, oh, I got this. Disengage, re-engage. And I guess Leviathan technically won this fight, but it was 2 shutdowns going on to ganks, which is not what you want. I mean, Jowney died. I don't think Jowney dies. He might die. I don't know. It's Jowney. He had a very bad game. And while he's had a good set of games, he had a really bad one this game. And it feels like Akali did more, but you could see who kind of was the clear-cut MVP. And I'm just gonna say it. It's Lava. Even without the damage numbers, Lava was just the whole reason this game broke open, and it just wasn't even close at all. The menace of this game, easily on the Jace. You don't mess with Eastern Jaces because they are scary and terrifying, and they will put you into the ground no matter what you try to do. Just don't. It's not gonna happen. And sadly for Leviathan, they had to learn the hard way that you don't mess with Eastern Jaces because they are very good. And it just kind of felt like I know Virus has been finding some success on the Varus, but it's just not. I don't think it's what anyone should be first picking in this meta. Kalista was available, and that's just a better champion. Also, Cotopaco having to lock in Jax first for his laner, or for his top laner. I don't think that's a good pick either. I'm not a really big fan of first pick Jax because it is not. There's just counters into it that probably should be respected a lot. I mean, even the Summit, yes. Even the Akali, yes. Summit hasn't played Akali in 3 years, but he knows how to play it. He played it when it was most meta. So he knows how to play it when it's even less meta. That just doesn't go away. And he knows how to play into the Jax, because that is a counter matchup you can't really afford to allow to happen. Because if Jax gets really strong, we've seen Jowney take over games, take over entire series on Jax, and for Rainbow Seven, they just were not letting it happen. Slam the Akali, and it's over for Jowney once they put it in top lane. Mid lane, Cotopaco just eventually got caught out, and Odie was more than happy to jump onto him, and that was the end of the conversation there. And then it was just Lava for the rest of the game. Super fed. Didn't really need to worry about much of anything. Was hitting people from 3 screens away, absolutely blowing them up, and able to rotate, blow other people up. Team fighting, blew people up. It really just did turn into this one guy absolutely steamrolling all of Leviathan at one point. But it is what happens when you get a super fed Jace on the enemy team. It just He's going to be hitting a lot of people for a lot of damage, a lot of poke, and he's going to be doing a lot of stuff that is not at all help. Is not what you want when you're staring down, when you have to, try and play into it. So it is a bit of a, yeah, it is what happens when you face a Jace at all. Happens to the best of us, as to the surprise of nobody, after going 8-0-4 in game 1, Lava picks up the MVP. And that is his second of the season, as Rainbow 7 have 4 members of MVP still. They are waiting on one more. Yes, they are waiting on one more to pick up MVP, to have their whole team on the leaderboard for this season. And so that top play was pretty nice. It looked cool. Lions gets MVP. Rainbow 7 will have everybody on the MVP leaderboards. It would be pretty cool. And it's just a small thing to pick up on, really, more than anything else. For Leviathan, what do you do coming back into the series? Besides keel over and die, which is what I would think, get top counter pick. Johnny really needs it, especially if he's not going to be on Rumble. Get the top counter pick. It's super important. I really want I want to see them actually get proactive. Ganks really didn't do anything. He got invaded once in the early game and just kind of gave up. I really need to see him do something in lane to really justify picking the Corki or picking whatever you're going to be going on him, unless it's a counter. I really need to see him get proactive. I want to see him roam. I want to see him play like actual League of Legends. I don't want to see him farm and sit under turret and then eventually lose because Akali and Jace are super fed. So yeah, that is the plan. If you're Rainbow 7, more of the same. Just continue to make sure Johnny doesn't get ahead. Make sure Kotopanko is stuck in his lane, and you will win game. You can beat this team and get more proactive than Ganks, and it is all over for Leviathan in this series. So, with a 1-0 lead in favor of Rainbow 7, will we see Leviathan battle back to force a game 3, or will we see Rainbow 7 continue to try and make their case for why they should be still in the conversation for number 1 in the region come the second half, as we go to a short break before game 2. See you after the break.
Like management for me, I'm not.
All right, welcome back to the Kimchi Cast for the 2024 LLA Spring Split as Rainbow 7 lead Leviathan 1-0 in this best of 3 and are looking to close the day with a second 2-0 and the allotth of the week of this season. Like a lot of another 2-0 to throw into the pile at this season because we've had two 3-game sets. Oh my god, I'm gonna die of choking on something apparently. We've had 2 3-game series so far this season, and it is wow. It is exactly how it sounds. Sad. Very depressing. But it is what it is sometimes. I mean, heck, even the best teams in the region haven't gone to 3 games yet, so it's very sad, very depressing, all that saddening stuff. That is what, they're looking for the 14th 2-0 of the season. Yeah, that is how days work and how counting works. Will we see any new bans? I mean, I don't think there should be. I don't see a reason why they should switch up the ban strategy. I don't see unless you want to get rid of the Kalista, obviously that's an option. But I don't see the Akali becoming a recurring issue here because it is very much a counter pick into one champion. Like, it's not even the best. If you play Aatrox, not a good Aatrox counter, or not the best Aatrox counter. You just pick Yone. I think Xiaomi can play Yone, or pick Asante if you want. Like, I don't see a reason to pick it into anything else. As they're gonna get rid of the Poppy here, as they are telegraphing a potential Kalista lock-in. And for Rainbow 7, they're in such a good spot right now because it's a win-win. Either they get the Kalista or they get the Ashe Varus locked in their favor. And it will probably be an instant Kalista Slam as we are remaking the draft, it seems. Technical difficulties, either with the bans or with locking in champions for Rainbow 7. As actually Leviathan pick the red side this game. Very interesting, as they don't want to snag the Kalista first pick, it seems, and it is a reported issue with lava, actually. As you can see there, I don't think they're going to cut away or anything. I think we'll actually make it out of the draft with minimal anything. I don't think they're going to cut to we're going to get straight into the draft. They're just remaking the lobby really quickly, and we should be pretty done. As you can see, actually, Rainbow 7, they're a joke, or not Rainbow 7, Leviathan, despite the loss, they're joking a little bit. They're probably comfortable with each other and are not going to let their spirits get down by a single loss, which is always great to see. But of course, game time comes around, smiles come off. You gotta play the game. You gotta finish the game, focus on it. Time for jokes come later and before the game, of course. And will we be done fixing Lava's PC? Still checking in on it. It seems and with all this, actually, I will mention that again, stuff like the Kalista probably going to come through. It is probably just going to be a draft remake with the same bands going through to start this off, and then draft goes as it was intended to go. La Guardia. I have a very different context of La Guardia, but the guard, sure. Go R7. That's clever. Go R7. There's a lot. Rainbow 7, extremely popular, of course. They are one of the most well-known orgs outside of Latin America. Like, they are very big. They are probably the most popular org outside of the region, having multiple appearances at international events. So it is very hard to go anywhere in Latin American League of Legends and not see Rainbow 7 fans. But Tech still working on this whatever issue is. I don't know. But what is the... I'm assuming Rainbow Seven, we get back into the draft, we get all the bans through, Rainbow Seven instantly get that Callista, right? Sayo had such a good game on Callista that it had a good enough game. It didn't really matter how good Sayo did, but I think it was a good enough game that you obviously take one of the strongest ADCs on patch, unless you have something really specific in mind. Oh yeah, the Jace. I don't see the Jace really coming through. I think it was just a one-off thing here. I just don't really see an angle where we go another round of it. There's the Leviathan faithful. There they are. I don't know how people get associated with esports orgs. I just never felt it. The empty sign. Yes. I don't know how people do it. I never understood it until I did it either. So, hey. But if that is the case, if it is the Callista locked in, look at that. Yeah. Go crazy. Go stupid. Go crazy. Yeah. If that is the instant Callista lock-in, what is the angle? What is the response for Leviathan here? Do they want to take a bot lane response? Do they want to snag away the Callista? Like, I don't know what their angle is going to be. Do they want to take jungle? Of course, that's always an option. You could take your jungle very early. It's just it's gonna be it's just really going to be up to what Leviathan are comfortable playing and what they think are the correct thing. I don't want to see... they could even take mid. I don't want to see them take top lane first rotation. Unless top lane gets shown for Rainbow Seven, I don't think they should take it because they have counter pick in hand. They went to the red side, I'm assuming, to get that top lane counter pick because of how important counter pick is to the role. As we are just seeing random people. Hello, random people who are just here to witness LLA. But it's apparently taking a lot longer to go, but here we are. Probably just going to be the same bans all over again. Yes, indeed. So this will be the Poppy banned away, and this will be in response an Ashe ban for Leviathan. And what are Rainbow Seven going to go? And it is just going to be the Callista B1. So what is the answer? Ooh. The Draven for Virus. Okay. This is a bit of an interesting solution to a problem that I don't think is a problem, but it exists. And it's going to be ganks on the Maokai. We're going to have the first Ivern of the season here in LLA, and Tristana locked in, and Kodapako going to lock in the Jace here, probably for himself. The tree. Oh boy, are we going to talk about the tree today? We're going to talk about the freaking tree. Ivern, 5 games played, 2 and 3 on the season right now, so he's won his last 2 games. Let's put it that way. He's won his last 2 as the Renata banned away, obviously. Not a very surprising ban here with the Callista already locked in and no other support taken. And what is the response here? Both sides need a support. Both sides need top laners. It's going to be the Udyr taken away from Zhao here, but they have counterpick, so they have to respect that fact that Rainbow Seven do not have the counterpick, so they will very much likely be blinding the top lane. The Alistar taking away, another good pick to go paired with this Callista. The Cassante taken away from Zhao now. They had to get rid of the Rumble. They can't afford to give Summit Rumble either. He's probably good at it. I'm not going to check because it's gone. And it's going to be the Rel support, maybe? Oh, pardon. Igna has played a good amount of Rel this season, and they will add another to it. And Sayo, okay, so he does have his weird ban, or weird hovers, like everyone else in the league. Okay, so we're just going to wait these out. Oh, there we go. I was looking for you, as it could be anyone. And this is the Jax blind with the Nautilus coming in support. Rel, 2 games of Rel so far, 1-1 for Igna on the Iron Maiden. Nautilus having a brutal season. I believe he didn't even just pick up his first win of the season. He has not a lot going for him. As Gragas would be the wise pick. I don't think Xiaoni has the Akali in him, and it will be Gragas into the Jax. Who has even played Gragas this season in the LLA? And, I mean, Xiaoni's going to have to show up. It's going to be time to show up or get slapped down. It has been Xiaoni. He lost on it 2-3-1 on the Gragas top lane. I'm assuming into a Jax, of course. It was against Estral, so it was against a very difficult champion, or very difficult top lane opponent, of course, but still has not shown up on this counter pick really already in this season. So he's gonna have to pull the rabbit out of the hat here, really, to find a win, to find a lane win against a very strong opponent. I don't think Summit has an LCS championship. I was going to say he does, but I don't think he actually does. Does not. But all the delays out of the way. Yeah, he wasn't even on teams that won regional championships while he was there. Okay. With all the delays out the way, though, here we are waiting to see what the final game of the day, possibly, if Rainbow Seven are going to be able to pull this one out, as we are getting into the game, and it's hopefully going to be better than the last one. I hope for a competitive game today. We've had 2 really competitive games, maybe a third, depending on how you count that last game of Estral and All Knights. Slightly less competitive, slightly more competitive, maybe, depending on what you define as competitive. But Leviathan have a lot to prove. They didn't even stand a chance against Rainbow Seven in game 1, and Summit has gone fishing. Let's go. Summit's gone fishing. Oh, I never noticed that. They have a male announcer in Spanish. I've played in Spanish. Why do I not know this? But a very standard, nothing interesting start. Skanks actually going to look for lava early, as Kotopaco going to get a good chunk onto him, as Ganks is looking for the Raptors here, and it's going to be successful. And at least something comes back in this game. So getting aggressive from the very beginning here. Punishing Ivern's technically slow early clear, but it's very fast, of course. It is a very fast clear. He has one of the fastest in the game because he just kind of walks around and then repaths to finish his camps. And because of that play, actually, Odie's going to be able to get a lot of value here. Onto, is he going to mark everything? No, there's no way he goes for the Krugs here. But he's going to mark both of the top camps that he can actually take if he really chooses to come back. But they know he's up there, so this might become a vertical clear for Ganks. Or, well, no, it will be a vertical clear for Odie. He wants to go get those marks procced as soon as possible, as Virus is going to be using this Draven to get very aggressive. As you can see, Seo CS not so hot right now. And you can see here, Xiaoni's CS not so hot right now, as it's actually going to be further invades from Ganks. Yes, he's spotted out, and he's just going to go take this red side. Usually with Ivern, what you do is you invade, you smite away the enemy's, the buff that you are starting the same side of, as long as they aren't on it. But this is very aggressive from Odie, actually. But he knows where Ganks is, so it is just going to be a vertical jungle, pretty much. Entirely. So Odie will actually finish I believe a little CS behind, actually. He did take the Krugs, which is not something you typically take on the Ivern because you don't get the full value of it. You only get the value of the first one. Is Kodapako going to show some good plays on the Jace here, knowing how to showing that he knows how to Jace, as this is a continued invade from ganks on the bot side jungle. It will be Herald or Scuttle for Scuttle, and oh, Yauni just griefed himself there. Not optimal. Virus going to get hit with a spear, but ganks is looking for an angle here as Lions is going to be thrown into everyone, and there's the Shattering Strike. As now the flash in from ganks, and it's first blood for Virus on this Draven, and Seo's trying to go forwards to get anything done, but it's not going to be able to be, or not going to happen. As Odie is here, but he is spotted out, and now Kodapako jumping out to Lava. Lava may have actually done himself in a little bit there, but he's going to get a lot of damage onto Kodapako now. Almost got knocked into the enemy turret. That a very aggressive play, but Virus getting an early cash out, so not super optimal. Usually you want it to happen a little bit later in the game, but still fine. Isn't the end of the world. Kodapako actually already TP'd as well, so that's not good. He's this low and he already TP'd, but same for Lava. But Lions is up here now after dying. He is looking for an angle, and this is so well played from Leviathan. Getting aggressive. And then the flash out, and then Lions lands the hook, and that is his downfall, though. As that is 208 extra gold over to the Draven. That is the serrated Dirk finished, even though he might not even finish a lethality item first. Johnny spotted out, walking back into lane, but that's, he's already there. The Grubs are, he's spotted, or not, what? There's a ward on the Grubs. Why can't I say that? Lava hits level 6. Kodapako's level 6. Not going to be nearly as interesting. Sadly, it is Jace, so is what it is. Did Yauni get cannon? Oh no, they're almost even. Yauni going to land. A good trade, actually. Going pretty even there in that, but Yauni has more consistent healing than Summit right now. The Hex Flash coming through, and Virus is going to know to use the movement to get away. The root actually going to land from Odie, but doesn't really do anything. Gank's going to just continue on his clear. Kodapako gets buster shotted and is at 1 health. The bomb doesn't secure the kill, but it will force Kodapako to recall at least. Lava is on the winning end of this trade now. Gank's just going to clear off that little thing. They know Ganks is here, though, so it's not really that surprising. And Odie, what? Man, that shield is so broken. They keep buffing Ivern. It's very weird. That shield is so broken. The shield is gone, and it's still regen. What the hell? I mean, there's not really much aggression. Ganks already got his gank off with Flash, so he can't really do much else unless he gets a very generous lane state for his laners. So he's going to wait till 6. Odie is Ivern. He's Ivern. Need I say anything else? And it's not in Seo and Lions' best interest to go in here. If they do, they risk giving a lot over to Virus here on the Draven. And this is just going to be a very passive game. I mean, Draven's already won one coin flip, but maybe he wins another. As Ganks is going to continue to do this dragon. As the axes land, Odie's just going to go for an invade here while taking the dragon. So the red buff taken away with the smite there from Leviathan. Ganks not going to get anything, as there's going to be a, Lava's right there. This is going to be the start of the grubs for Rainbow 7. And will be a singular grub over to Lava and Odie. As Ganks is stealing camps away. Don't know if he knows he is. Well, Odie can't steal this without Smite. That is the downside of if you're getting invaded on Ivern. You can't steal the camps away without Smite. Because you can't fight the camps. You're literally not allowed to. That is kind of his whole thing. He is a pacifist to the jungle. But a very boring lane state. Yauni getting the beat down there. Summit went for the leaf strike, and Yauni meets him halfway with the body slam. Even though that's still not what a body slam... I mean, I guess in the most literal sense of the word, that is an option of what body slam is. And the blue buff taken away by Odie now. As Ganks has the... Ooh, the Nature's Grasp coming in. Odie going to be able to flash away. And that's not going to hit, though. And Odie might be able to actually come back and take this away. He already has the stacks on it. Yauni is... I would be so ready to go in there, if need be, as Lion Gaming flashed by Ganks. I don't think Ganks was on there, but that is formerly Rainbow 7 as Ganks is getting jumped out by Lava. And now Daisy's here to try and help him out, but flash out of Ganks, and he will escape with his life. And so Leviathan only lose a flash right on that play. That's a lot of value. They do actually lose... I know they get the scuttle as well. They will get it. Lions looking for an angle here. Igna is just going to stand in front of Virus to make sure he tanks the hook if anyone else has to tank it. And Yauni going to continue to try and get something as there it goes. Summit. Ultis. There's nothing for Yauni, and it's going to be Lava securing the kill with the monster shot. And now there's the hook that lands. Seo is getting jumped on, though. Virus possibly risking his life here, but Igna is so slowed. Odie right there. And Ignabilu will fall as Seo gets the rend. A great one at that. Now teleports coming in. Kodapako TPing in. Here, there was the TP from Lava. Ganks is going to be able to survive with his life. The accelerated shock blast not going to connect, and Kodapako can't do much of anything here. And that is a narrow 1-for-0 that that felt like it was going to be a lot more for some of these. But it is just a very long and scary 1-for-1 or 1-for-0 in the end. An overall 2-for-0 for Rainbow 7. Lava gets a kill in top lane, teleports bot lane, gets a kill there, almost gets a kill there too, almost dies there as well. Feel like Yauni held flash for too long there. But you see it, the counter comes through, the punish. Lions lands the hook. Seo tries, or Igna tries to get anything, but he's locked down for so long now that Igna has so many Ren stacks in him, he just explodes. And then this, I don't know how they go 0 for 0 here. Throughout the rest of this, Ganks is going to, you're going to see how low Ganks gets in a second. Barely alive. Kodapako just doesn't have it and doesn't hit the one piece he needs. And that's going to be the Fate's call to bring Lions to safety. And now they can regank if they so choose. They have the Nature's Grasp available. There's a lot here that they could do as the Yomu's is finished, actually. So it won't be an Essence Reaver start. As you can see, the total gold is in favor of Virus. Igna going to be able to run away. The hook not going to land. And now Igna tanking the root from Odie. They're all going to be able to walk away here. Ganks still with the potential to regank this lane. He has the Nature's Grasp on at his call right now. There is no answer possible from Seo. Ooh, that's my... Oh, there's an engage from Ignabilu. There's the crash down into the Magnet Storm. The Nature's Grasp is going to land, but there's the depth charge. But a nice flash to make sure the Whirling Death hits on to Seo. Lions is going low. Igna just needs to land one more. And there's a double kill for Virus. Odie's getting low, and he's wanted to make it. Virus wants to make it 3, but it will be a 2-for-0, where Virus is going to get fed. And Leviathan find an answer in the bot lane. Oh my, I hit my ankle on the start of that play. I'm sorry. And Yaoni has Summit quite low. And maybe he has an angle here. Maybe he doesn't. But you go back, look at this play. It is another time where they think they found Virus. They thought they had it, but it's Ignabilu instead. And then the crashdown comes through. They get the depth charge off at least, but there's no Fate's Call. A great flash to make sure Seo is lined up with the Whirring Death. I never know if it's whirring or whirling. And then a great Shattering Strike, a smite to make sure he's not moving. And Virus is going to pick up 2 kills right there and cashing out because he hasn't died quite yet. He will get the cash out as well. And he's already on his way to his second item. Seo hasn't even finished his first item yet. That one hurt a lot. I'm sorry. Ow. I'm in pain. As now it is, I mean, even in plates, this is actually below average for both of these teams. They usually have way more platings. As Leviathan are looking to take their second dragon here, Virus is in a really good spot right now. He's going to keep stacking up those axes. And now the Nature's Grasp coming out. It's going to catch Lions. But the Fate's Call, again, very well timed to get Lions out of danger. And now Summit going to be able to jump away. There's no big ulti. There's no bomba available for Yaoni right now. And Kotapaco going to go forwards and get smacked away by the Buster Shot. And that's the struggle of Summit. He has to time those so well, or else Yaoni's just going to be able to escape the counter-strike and get free damage. But it is so hard to really do anything else. Summit has full control of this wave, and you can see it in the CS diff. But Yaoni has his item finished, has the Archangels already upgraded. He's put all his focus onto getting this one item. Forwent boots. I think I could have said foregoing boots, but it's okay. As we can see, ganks getting aggressive. These junglers have been hyper aggressive this game. Odie more so aggressive on the invades. And now Yaoni has an angle to go in, but he doesn't actually have grasp, so he doesn't need to keep trading there. Instead, just giving up on the auto and going forwards. As Kotapaco going to land a nice shock blast onto Lava, but that is a 4v1 in mid, and you don't want to even consider taking that, as now Yaoni has to be careful. The angle of a potential gank top lane is on the way. It is not looking good. Virus alone in the bot lane, though. He's going to take out this turret and even up the turret kills, as Yaoni and Ko are as Yaoni getting jumped on. A nice flash right there. And going to throw it on top of himself, throwing the cask on top of himself just in case of any funny business from Summit or Lava. And that's a really good play there. The paranoia from Yaoni, just in case of any disasters, having to respect that is huge. And now the hook lands onto Ignabilu. The teleport coming in from Yaoni. They find only Lava with the Nature's Grasp, and everyone's going to be able to escape with their lives for the time being. Meanwhile, Summit still getting a bit chunked down here. And Odie going to land the root onto Igna again. But Yaoni and Summit stare each other down in mid lane. The cask is coming back up. Virus is here instead of at the Herald right now, and the hook lands onto ganks, and they are jumping onto him. The bomb is on him. It's ticking. It is down, but Virus might have the answer, and ganks actually is going to survive this. The Buster Shot to get Igna out of danger somehow works out, and Leviathan are finding the angles here to fight this, as Kotapaco is just getting some chunks of this top tier 1. Summit is going to get stunned up, but no one's going to throw anything. Yaoni already threw in the explosive cask, so Rainbow 7 are going to be able to back him up really quick. Summit already taking half of this top tier 1, and Leviathan, in a fight that probably shouldn't have even gone their way, have found an angle to stop the Herald take. Kodapako taking the recall. Odie knows exactly where he is. Odie going to take a lot of damage there, and the jukes coming out from Kodapako. Beautiful dodges there. Odie, good use of the bush to get control of the bush vision, as they're going to start it back up. And maybe they get it this time. There's not a lot of damage in between Odie and Lions. Odie builds support items, and Lions is a tank. Don't think there's a ton of damage. They're really relying on the eye here, but Ganks isn't even close. And so they should be able to get this pretty cleanly. There's no effort to steal it at all, and will be a Herald in the back pocket of Odie, and he's going to be able to drift into any turret he chooses, probably this top turret if they don't get it just yet. Man, this takes so long. Ganks had time to clear his wolves back and almost walk back to the Herald pit entirely. That is how long it takes for those two to take the Herald. It is really bad. As we see the Bork already finished just finished for Sayo. The Collector now for Virus. This is pretty dangerous. Ganks almost dealing with the Jungle Pet. And Virus is very strong. 2 items on this Draven. He's gonna have to just give up that axe, as they're just gonna go for the dragon. They want the Drake Soul instead. But if Rainbow 7 want to fight, they can try and pick one. Lava has an angle onto Virus that can be absolutely damaging. And there's the flash force, and there's the flash response with the counter. And now it is getting ugly for Leviathan, as Kodapako going to flash away. Sayo finds Ignabilu, and this could be a 5 for nothing here. Ganks going in. It's going to be a 5 for 1 at least. And it's going to be a 4 for 1. It's a triple kill for Sayo. And Leviathan don't have vision of Lava, and Lava's just going to flash Buster Shot Virus into into the entirety of Rainbow 7, and that is absolutely punishing. And look at the spears on this thing. But so well played, so well controlled by Rainbow 7 there to get the exact fight they want. Holy piss, Sayo. That was a 1900 health dragon, and you just chunked it like it was nothing. Summit tanking a lot of turret. If Yaoni played that a little better, he probably could have actually got a lot of damage onto him. And you can see Lava unchecked, but they know. So they do know Lava's here. But there's nothing they can do about it. He just Buster Shots Virus in, and Virus has to panic flash out. And that's kind of where it all comes together, is Summit is able to just go in. Now that there's no flash on Virus, there's no threat of him escaping with his life. And it is just Yaoni running to the hills, yet to really get involved in this game. As there's the hook landing onto Ganks, but now the Nature's Grasp coming out, but everyone's going to be able to block it up for the time being and walk away. Perfectly healthy Daisy's insanely low. And Daisy's going to live. The damage, I mean, there was so much damage coming through from Kodapako, but they just couldn't get Virus into the fight. Virus had to really just burn all his flash instantly. He just instantly got killed because they didn't have any vision of Lava, and they couldn't really do much of anything to force Lava out at that point because there was no wards. They'll try to get this mid tier 1 at least. They will. So it's something. But you can see the 1,000 gold lead is a lot to really worry about, especially with a coordination diff. And that will be a second turret. And that's going to be 3 turrets, actually, for Rainbow 7. They pretty much simultaneously wiped 2 turrets off of the map. Just somehow wasn't coordinated intentionally. And you can see the top of the gold charts, the ADCs, a lot of farm. And then the Draven passive really doing a lot of work here too. Get Virus up to the top of the charts. It's not over yet. As you can see, the IE being started by Virus here. It's very playable, but that is a scary Callista. Bork and Rageblade, a lot of attack speed, going to be moving pretty far as well. You've got to really, really figure out what your fight angle is, because it's gonna have to either get Sayo or it's either get Sayo or get Lava, and you can't really afford to let either of them walk away. And with that Mikhail's on the Ivern, it is going to be very, very hard to get someone to walk or to lock anybody down. Just one. Oops, that is me almost ripping off my headphones. The Rel going to be a lot harder to get someone locked down on. Gank's going to have a harder time locking anybody down because of that Mikhail's Blessing. So they're going to need to find a really good angle and hope it works, because the darkness is enshrouding them right now. It is really just scary for Leviathan to push forwards and try and get anything here. They can't see. They are going into their own jungle blind. And they are not in a position to really try and contest anything at the moment. Summit is just beating up this bot wave. Out issues. Triforce secured. I don't even think Yaoni got there last game. And it is, once again, Rainbow 7 fully controlling this game. And now it's even them fully controlling the vision. It is just, walking forwards is difficult. We can see the serrated Dirk. Well, I don't know, actually. Could be anything. It's a serrated Dirk. It builds into almost every lethality item, if not every lethality item. Ooh, Yaoni not getting the barrel, and that is only a trade that gets fixed up because of the turret being nearby. And Kodapako isn't really hitting quite as hard yet. Has some good damage, though. But he isn't hitting as hard as we saw Lava hitting last game. You see the total damage? It's Yaoni, baby. Yaoni and Summit have been hitting each other over the head with a bag of rocks. And it is really helpful for your damage numbers when you're fighting two very beefy guys who have a lot of healing. And now pushing in this mid wave. They should be able to get out perfectly fine. There's the Mikhails coming through. And it will be Lions getting out thanks to his jungler with a very good Mikhails. And now the root coming through onto Igna, but nothing going to come of it yet. The dredge line available. It's going to land onto Igna Bilu, and he's going to be able to crash down out to safety with the flash as well. The depth charge going to land onto Virus, but it's not going to be able to do anything with it. But that is good setup for the Drake, as Daisy's going down. Daisy got the smackdown. Sorry, Daisy. But that is flash down from Ignabilu before the Drake spawns. They can't even see in there right now. Ganks isn't even going to be able to go in for a steal. And now Leviathan have to run away and hope they survive, because there is not really much room for error right now. But there's the hook landing onto Ignabilu, and he is going to fall. He's just going to try and stall for as long as he can to keep his teammates alive. And that is a second dragon for Rainbow 7, and another kill for Ignabilu. And Virus not at all respecting Lions' range right there, and almost dying for it as Summit gets killed. Kodapako has found a very valuable kill, as they will kill the mid-tier 2 while Leviathan are busy doing that. And our Rainbow 7 looking for Baron here. Don't know right now. It's going to be smited away, and it will not be a Baron angle. They will just take this chance to recall and spend some money. And this is, again, Igna trying to... I mean, he's trying to do a lot for his team, but he has to keep himself alive. He hasn't been able to really do that this game. It's been a very difficult one, I know, but he's got to try and do it. He's not only... I mean, he's the stopgap for this team as well. And then Virus, this is just Virus not respecting any of Lions' engage, any of the potential engage on Rainbow 7. That's just... I don't even know about that one. That one's just not really excusable. It worked out. In the end, it kept people off of Summit, but no one was going to help Summit anyways. He was very dead. As Leviathan have found themselves in control of the river for the time being. For a small amount of time, they've found themselves in control of this Baron pit. But it's going to be very difficult to maintain that control, because Rainbow 7 going to be able to choke them out of it pretty much without much struggle. And now Seo wits end, not going to be allowing Yauni to hit as hard as he would like to. Lava going to take not a very worrying amount of damage still. I would be worried about it a little bit as we see the Serpent's Fang actually coming through here to counter Ivern. Very interesting. I don't know how it's going to work. I think the anti-shield items are not that great right now. I think we need a good one. But, it's an effort. And Seo just going to farm up this mid wave. 4-1-1 right now. The ADCs are the key carries still. Without much shock there, obviously. It is the AD carries who are the focuses of these teams. You let Draven or Kalista fire for a little too long, and you're going to be very sorry you did. And it is a lot of protect the president right now. You do not want to let your ADC fall. We saw what happened when Leviathan took their foot off the gas and allowed their ADC to get jumped on, and it pretty much has put them in this scenario as Rainbow Seven are starting the Baron, and there's not really anyone here to counter. Ganks is going to have to jump in somehow as the Baron already burned down. Rainbow Seven going to be able to get out of dodge probably with no issues at all, as now they're looking to go forward. The Fates call. Lions going to land onto Ganks, but Ignabilu going to find a huge engage, and there's a massive cask to knock everybody low and make them go crazy. Seo is going to be free firing though, but it's going to be on Rainbow Seven. They got to find a way to stop this Kalista from going absolutely ape. And Seo finally going low. They get him to back away. Summit needs to be careful here. Ignabilu throwing up the marshmallows and the fire as Rainbow Seven got the Baron, but have paid dearly for it. They got just a lot out of that for Leviathan. Just so close. It looked really good. Rainbow Seven could have just walked away with no issues as Summit teleporting back in, trying to find anybody. But he's not going to get anyone here as the Drake spawns in 15 seconds, and that is what they want to get. The Rounduin's out now for ganks. But the key part of that, the explosive cask for that Baron following the Baron fight, was so huge from Yauni. And that is why you're picking the Gragas, not only to counter the Drave, or not to counter the Drave, to counter the Jax, but to get a really big AoE spell that's going to be doing a lot later on. Ganks has been hooked up. He's going to try and lock down Summit, but he's in a bad spot. Now Summit knocked into Ganks, and that's not what you want here, as Yauni is not going to really help out Virus here. And now Yauni going golden, and he's in the middle of everyone. He's instantly going to die upon getting out of stasis, and maybe this is the angle for Rainbow Seven to finish the game. They didn't have a great last fight there in the Baron pit, but now is their chance to redeem themselves. A massive explosion on the shield there from Daisy. And there's the hook onto Ganks. Ganks is gonna fall. And now it is a jump in on everybody as Seo is unstoppable. And there's another. Draven will pick up one last kill, but Rainbow Seven, despite losing in a bad Baron fight, win the game off of a nice pick onto Ganks. And they will 2-0 Leviathan as they pick up their 4th straight win. And Leviathan, it was a mix of too little, too late, and it was getting caught out. They got caught a lot. I mean, that was the last fight happened because Ganks was caught out of position pretty much, and they never really got another angle to get back into the game because of that. Well, obviously they didn't have another angle. The game ended after that, but I don't know. but you get it. It is just they had not enough going for them, and it was already like backs against the walls, back against the wall kind of play. Just isn't really happening. So it is really just tough to kind of figure it out, because Leviathan, it was a mix of they fell behind early, obviously. They kind of kept it close. Again, they keep doing this, but then they didn't really get anything out of it. They couldn't really do much with that, because by the time they tried to do anything, they were already gone. It was already over for them. So it was just very difficult to try and say what the heck they could have done in that game, because by the time it was like, okay, we got all this gold influx, what are we going to do with it? The game was over. The game ended, ganks got picked off, and it was just over for them. So it was just really tough. For Rainbow Seven, it was really well played. If you could tell I'm rushing through this analyst section, it's because my throat really hurts. I want to get out of here. But it is really they tried really, really hard to get back into that, but just could not really get it done. And it is obviously great for Rainbow Seven, because now they are one win, once again, just a win behind Astral Esports, and they face off against them to start the season, or to start the second round robin, so that's always great. And then just really good. That was a really mostly clean, I mean, a very clean game one and a pretty clean game two, so there's not much to worry about for Rainbow Seven. For Leviathan, it is, I mean, yes, you're up against another top tier team, but I kind of want to see them go back to the drawing boards, because I need to see them try, and I just want to see them game plan a little harder. I guess they kind of had a game plan here. The Gragas actually did work really well in the end, but it just felt like they're too reactionary in this one. They're too much of sitting back, waiting for them to go in, waiting for their opponents to go in and to do something. So I think it is for Leviathan, I want to see them be more proactive next game. Next game against, when do they play next? They play next week. Man, they're off for an entire week. They play Infinity next week. I want to see them more proactive. I want to see them really go in. I want to see them play, get aggressive, because they didn't really have that for all of it. Like, yeah, the early invades, the jungles were very aggressive with each other, going for invades, early plays, but besides those early plays, they didn't really do much, and that's kind of what I think they didn't really get to do, is they got the Draven ahead, and then they didn't really maneuver the fights well enough, or they felt like they were just sitting back for too long and then going in, and it just cost them in the end. I mean, I say that for a lot of things. I said it for All Knights. You gotta get proactive. You gotta do stuff. You can't just sit back and wait for the enemy to make a mistake, because they're not going to give you that. They're not always going to give you that. Sometimes, like Estral going in very aggressively onto Hadan, that was a very good reactionary play, because that was designed to be but they were planning for, if Hadan gets picked off, they go in afterwards, and that obviously works out really well. But Leviathan, I love them. I think it is just a little bit of a skill issue. I don't think they're quite individually on the level of some of these players. But it also is that they've shown some really good coordination, and doesn't always come through, I guess, in some of their games. So I want to see them show the coordination that they do have. They have very good coordination. They've been very great at outmaneuvering teams. Like, when it comes down to it, they're one of the teams I can rely on and saying they don't really have the individual raw talent, maybe. Which is not to say these players are bad, of course. These are some of the best players in the region. They wouldn't be on these teams if they weren't. They also wouldn't have won any games if they weren't at least decent enough to compete here. But it is also that they're not on the same level as Estral. They're not on the same level as Isurus or Rainbow Seven. They are a mid-tier team that I think needs to rely more on their coordination and their teamwork to overcome some pretty tough obstacles. So that is kind of the situation they're always going to be in as a team, and it is how it is, of course, being a pretty much an amateur roster that was brought up to fill Leviathan's roster, which is really impressive at all, that all 5 of these guys were playing in amateur just like 3 months ago and are all on LLA rides right now, and they're not doing terribly. Like, we saw how KC did. KC brought up their entire 3/5 of their roster from the LFL, and they've won 1 game. Like, exactly. So for Leviathan, I guess it is rely more on that cohesion. You have, these guys have been playing together for a little bit. Some of the other teams have as well, but you have really good coordination. You have good teamwork and team play. So I want to see that come through, because you're not going to win by outskilling your opponents all the time. Like, you can't try and just skill diff Rainbow Seven. It's not going to happen. You can't try to skill diff Estral Esports. You're not going to win that battle. It is just, they have like 5 of the best players in their roles in this region, and it's not going to happen. So Leviathan, I hope to see you go back against Infinity. I think you should be able to win that game, no problem. And for Rainbow Seven, I don't think you're done yet. You have one more game day. Yeah, you have 1 more game day as well. You're 4-1. You're up against All Knights. It shouldn't be that difficult. You also should have a pretty good win. Keep the win streak rolling, blah, blah, blah. And so, with a 2-0 in Estral All Knights and a 2-0 that felt really weird in Rainbow Seven Leviathan, that is it for day 8 of the LLA Spring Split 2024. And that is the end of today's Kimchi Cast, the really bad English cast. I'm your host, Box Kimchi, and as always, have a good night.